Hello, everyone. Welcome to some Friday Night Siege out here. We got two teams going at it with University of North Carolina at Charlotte and Monday. I want to say, well, it's a weird one, but their name is going to be Monday Morning Chapel. And tonight we got a great match coming in here. We got two game. We got a It's been a minute, but the maps tonight for y'all are going to be Villa, Cafe, and then a decider of Coastline should it come to it. But again, as I was saying, my name is Bonsai, and here joined by my co-caster Blue Card.
Hey guys, I was here last night. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm here again.
And very soon here we'll be getting into things. It's going to be map 1 is Villa, as I was saying, with the teams rocking it out on that. And we should be getting to it very, very shortly.
Yeah, last night we were playing. It was Wasted Potential versus something Buffaloes. That's all I know. Colorado Buffaloes, perhaps. We started on Villa, and it was a gruesome game. The first half, the score was 3-3. After the second half, the score was 6-6. Went to 7-8 overtime. The Buffaloes just barely pulling that ahead. So, I mean, after last night, I'm looking forward to this match on Villa we have ahead of us. If it was anywhere near as close as it was last night, it's going to be a heck of a game. No pressure to the teams playing, but coming into it, we did have a 4K the first round and a 4K the second round. Only like a third K the third, but just some massive plays coming out from both teams. But I'm hoping it's going to be just as exciting and high octane as yesterday's match, and I'm sure it will be. Like we said, North Carolina teeing up against Monday Morning Chapel, both fighting for their spot in the quarterfinals. Whoever beats the other team here will be moving on to semis. But yeah, without further ado, it looks like we're getting the R from both teams here. We should be getting into the match at any moment. Just getting the good looks, have fun's out the way. Everyone's getting their chat out. I know the chat was actually going wild in game yesterday as well, but we'll see how tone it is this time as we get right into our match here.
And coming in here, it is going to be sort of the ban phase for these two teams here. What do you think the ban's going to be? Do you think it's going to be defaults?
I'm how quick that was. I'm guessing Thatcher. That's my bet.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yep,
There it is. Thatcher. UNC getting that Thatcher off the board very early. That's one of the operators that it's kind of surprising if you don't see Thatcher banned, especially on a map like Villa. A lot of the reinforced walls are closely packed together. You can get a lot of destruction with those gadgets. But Monday morning, following it up with a thermite ban, kind of an operator you don't see banned all too much. Kind of an interesting ban coming out from them. I wonder what their reasoning behind this is.
I think the thing is, that thermite is such a strong operator when you actually get it off the wall, and I think they're just trying to either ban out someone on the side of UNC Charlotte, or they are really just not wanting to deal with any kind of hard breach, making it as hard as possible. As Villa is a very, very hard breachable map, as you have it into both Aviator and Bar, and also the entirety of Master Wall and any other, pretty much every wall that you need to get into sight is pretty much hard breachable. But we will see Mirror coming out, so Mirror is a pretty standard ban for this map, as we've all probably seen and ranked at some point or another. Mirror's just strong, and it can get kind of disgusting.
And of course, to round the bans up, we're going to be getting rid of the Cade, an operator I said last night I didn't see banned very often. I got to thinking, I do see him banned quite a bit. Kind of an interesting ban for Villa, but definitely not too crazy. I think the main reason Monday morning got rid of that thermite was because they're probably going to end up relying on impact tricking these walls to keep them closed. Because every single wall on Villa, you can open up above it and impact trick it to keep it closed, and it's more difficult to impact, or it's easier to impact trick a Habana rather than a thermite. No, I have that backwards, don't I? It's easier to impact trick a thermite. Why would you ban them? I don't know. We'll have to see. It's getting into it already. The pulse being shown from Happers here. Pulse 6ing on to the clash instead of sticking that pulse, and CB on the other team 6ing from the Twitch onto the Monty, staying with that French operator, just a different French operator.
Yeah, and just Twitch in general is really, really strong, and especially if you're a really, really strong fragger on your team, you can kind of just walk into places if you have good enough aim and just wreck everyone, since the F2 is infamous for being one of the strongest guns in the game. But I digress. Frenchman of the Monty. And I'm very curious to see what they do with the Monty here, because Monty, a lot of the times, people play for just trying to get intel on the map and see where the roamers are without really sacrificing too much here. But with all of the soft breach they're bringing here, I'm curious if they're just going to go into piano and just kind of try to shoot up from below, try to get in any quick and early picks.
Yeah, the IQ on the board definitely would suggest that. That's like almost a direct counter to Maestro of all the ops, just because he's usually one of the few operators that sits there on his phone for the majority of the round. If Calcel here on the IQ can get underneath him and spot him out, she could take him off the board very early with little to no risk for herself if her team decides to clear below, which of course she will, because IQ can also take care of tons and tons of gadgetry that the defense is no doubtedly bringing with the Mute, the Jaeger, the Mozzie, and she can at least see the clash as well, just get her whereabouts known. And yeah, right off the bat, Calcel using her scanner on her wrist to take out just a default camera, so not the best use all just yet, but I'm sure she'll be getting to it. And Klimps here hitting the prone. I don't know if that wasn't a hole he made, that had to be a defender hole there. But unfortunately, Yeti on the Maestro backed off of that just at the wrong time. And we have a shield face-off on top main here. Pappers and CB Clash and Monty facing off. Monty can't do anything. He's just kind of a scary wall to look at. Clash, on the other hand, doing a little bit of damage to Monty, as well as Maestro from the Evil Eye doing just a little bit more. He's going to be whittling ever so lower and lower. But on the opposite side, Variant getting very lit, probably from the buck below. So it's looking pretty even so far.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe Clash is going to win that fight every single time, just so she doesn't have to really put herself out there to shock the Monty in and out. And as we can see, Monty already very, very low here, about 15 HP remaining on him. That's just going to go even further down the more that this Clash goes to town on him. But he's going to get flashed out a little bit here. Nitro's coming out all over the place, and we'll see Variant brought very, very low. And we got a minute 20 left on the clock now. Not much ground has been made. It's a lot of flashes coming in, trying to get that Clash off of main stairs, and then just drones going into study, trying to get a little bit of an avenue in. But the Clash will actually see a lot of them coming in, but Calcel gets one onto Kyle, bringing him down as the opening frag. That's the Mozzie gone, bringing it to a 4v4, as Monty's been downed by the Clash, and actually will get killed by the Clash, just shocked to death.
That was all of that damage was from the Clash. Only from the Clash, a little bit from the Evil Eye too, but it doesn't do all too much damage. That's not great for the side of North Carolina, but Variant also rubbing it in is going to take Sus off the board. That's the Hibana gone. If no hard breach is done already, it won't be done. But Klim, still wreaking havoc from below, is going to find Yeti. That's the Maestro gone off the board. Those Evil Eyes will now be stuck into place. But the attack still has to push upstairs as the trade goes out between Kasha and Teebs. Teebs just holding down sight, trying not to let the attack push. It's just him. Clash has Klimps at her. She takes care of him. Teebs taking Cash off the board, and now it's a 2v1. Clash still trying to hold Klimps back as best she can, but it's a 2v1 for Klimps, and he cannot move at all. He tries a pre-fire, but he's just so slow from the Clash shocking him that he barely gets through the wall. He just gives his position away and gives Teebs plenty of time to turn and pop him right in the head. Overall, that round going very back and forth. Wasn't really sure who was going to take that at any given moment, but of course, Monday Morning Chapel taking the first round of this series.
Yeah, and really just off to a great start for them. Just absolutely laying down so much pressure onto this UNCC team here, as they couldn't really get into, or pardon me, the other way around, MMC. Just UNCC putting so much pressure down so that no one could get really into any part of any meaningful map control, as most of the people actually died downstairs over by library and just could not get up to the second floor to save their lives. And it did actually end up taking quite a few of their lives before they even got up there, with just so much just getting lost so early on. Like, Monty got down by Clash and just absolutely had their entire attacking strategy just removed from even having a chance of getting into sight so quickly.
Yeah, Monday Morning Chapel starting this series off quite strong. Is going to be taking it over to Trophy Statuary. There's no crazy operators on the board from the defending side. Nothing too crazy out the ordinary. And same can be said for North North Carolina. No, Monday morning rather. I got these teams completely backwards.
It's hard.
Oh no, I have it backwards on my sheet. Oh no, I have to.
No.
Oh no. All
Oh
right, give me a
no.
minute. I'll be right back.
Well, either way, getting into round 2 here, we got a return to bar, which makes sense, as this is probably the strongest site on the map, and it's very easy to actually practice as well, because there's so many different ways you can go about holding this site. You can either hold it from, actually I lied, I am a filthy liar, they went statuary, I was juked. Sorry for lying to all of you wonderful viewers, but we are going into a statuary hold because it makes sense, because the defense definitely won last round and I know my rules, but that does mean that we will be going into the forced second one, as there is a 2-round map lock rotation for if you win a certain site, you cannot go to it for the next 2 rounds, which is why you have to probably learn at minimum 3 sites, at maximum 4, obviously, because there are only 4, but right off the bat, Klims goes in, gets immediately fragged on Tweebs. Tweebs takes him down very early on. I don't know if there was some miscommunication with the droning, as Calstill's very clearly droning out the area. I mean, we'll actually, maybe? He definitely knows this. His drone did get shot, but that is still 1 down very early on in this round, actually above the 2-minute marker for this attacking side, and it's just not going to go well, but we might get a refrag here, as one is trying to go through memo window, and ooh, no. Just barely misses. Teebs almost got another one, but he's getting pushed out here. It's getting very dangerous for him, as he almost gets wallbanged through the wall, as the name would suggest, and is fine as of now, but he's prone, and he has have teammates backing him up, but it could go down very poorly, very quickly, if they decide to pinch him here.
Yeah, it's now down just to Teebs basically on the roam here. Going to be trying to slow the attack down as best he can. You're doing quite the decent job. Klims is already taken off the board. That's a lot of vertical breach gone. It's now down just to basically the Ash to use her breaching charges from below. She only has 2 of them, so she's going to have to use those very wisely. Council still can shoot through the floor, just not going to do too great as this first set of X-Kairos go down. The Bandit actually tricked it, and Yeti used an impact over the wall just to make sure that those Kairos got destroyed. The Nitro coming out from Kyle will not quite do much damage at all. Of course, Monty, just being the mountain he is just going to take that, do a little bit of damage. But you know what? He's still up. He's still kicking. And he doesn't have a clash he has to go against this round. So he's probably going to be able to do quite a bit more. But he does have to get through Variant, who's playing Smoke in Astro, blocking that bathroom push. And yeah, 1 Toxic Babe already used. Monty just has to try to bait the rest of these out. There's a second down all the way behind him, so it's not even actually going to do anything to hurt the Monty. Yes, some sort of presence from Kelso repelled on Astro window, but Happers on the mute will take Sus out, or the Wamai rather, takes Sus out, but CB in response will take Variant out. Hard ADS on the Monty, something you don't see very often, but he needed that smoke off the board. Kashta meanwhile is pushing from Master and is going to take Kyle off, and it's just down to a 3v3 now. 3v2 is Hypersized 1, 2v2 is Kelso finds Happers. It's down to Kashta and Kelso. Kashta not putting Diffuser down, is instead going to try to frag Teebs, and it's Yeti finds Kelso. And now Kashta's in a precarious situation, putting Diffuser down. 2 seconds left. Yeti's pushing him. Almost didn't see him, but a nice flick. Turnaround as you hear the Diffuser going down behind him. Almost costed Yeti that round, but good ears, good awareness. Definitely saved him there.
Yeah, and it just definitely was one of those awkward situations where you were kind of damned if you do, damned if you weren't, as he was kind of had to put the diffuser down in a really quick fashion, and that was really the only place he had left, although his team just kind of dropped around him, and it just ended up being a really awkward situation because they had a really good attack going there for them in the original portion of it, where CB actually just got great entry frags, which you don't really think of Monty as an entry fragger, but he was definitely pulling it off there, but just could not keep stringing them together, and eventually UNCC comes back here and gets their second round of the map.
Yeah, I mean, North Carolina right now is looking pretty dominant here, taking the first 2 rounds by quite a little bit. That last round probably could have gone either way. At the end there, just comes down to winning the ones. Kashta got his one, went for the plant, and unfortunately his teammate lost his. But at Siege, he can't win them all. Definitely the right play at the time, and once Diffuser's going down, you gotta stick it. But now North Carolina going down into Kitchen here, going to be trying to complete a perfect site rotation. They They took Aviator, they took Trophy Statue, and now they're going to try to defend Kitchen against the onslaught of Monday Morning Chapel. Monday Morning, on the other hand, not really changing their operator loadout here. They are bringing the Maverick instead of the Hibana, just a little bit different form of hard breach. Maybe relying on the fact that this site doesn't rely all too heavily on hard breaching. Yeah, having that laundry wall open is nice. It's a nice spot to push through. But most of the time, just a few peek holes will suffice. And Maverick can handle that perfectly well. Plus, he has 2 frag grenades, which, are arguably better than flash grenades. And you can see Kashta and Glimpse bringing flash grenades of their own. There's plenty of flash grenades from the attack.
Yeah, and they gotta... MMC really has to figure out what they need to do to shake things up here. It's getting really, really awkward for them, as if they get into this half with a possible like 6-0 just going in here, because it might just go that way. And at the rate this is going, because there's not a lot of like, these rounds are close, but I don't think they're close enough to where it's like you could say, oh, like it just came down to just one specific thing in like these rounds. Like, it's definitely like back and forth, but they gotta mix it up here. Like, they keep falling down to the very last second of these attacks, and it's just utterly crushing to watch sometimes, because you're watching them get all these great entry frags and they just can't close it out. And I don't know if that is something about how they're going about their attacks, because one of the big things I'm noticing is like they're also losing a good amount of people as they're going on these attacks. Like we saw in the first round, a lot of people, probably about half the team actually died going into the first one. Ooh, Nitro Cell might be coming in here.
Beautifully baited from CB. Yeah. He knew that was coming.
Yeah, beautifully baited, and I think that was definitely what he wanted to do. As they do know that there is a pulse here. So, oh man, oh, it's getting dangerous for this buck here. He's hovering over the floor. He actually might even see the foot of the Variant pulse, and oh, he does see him, but can't hit his shots. And Variant just seems to not care. Isn't even reacting to the bullets. Oh, now he will, as he gets shot in the leg, taking him down for about 27 HP. And it's getting a little bit saucy here.
Yeah, but I mean, on the plus side, Sus is opening up that laundry wall with a Maverick. Not doing it quite as fast as Hibana would have, but he's still going to be getting it done. Plus, he doesn't have to worry about any mute jammers, bandit wires that he might encounter. He just opens it up. Having some nice cover from Kashta and CB on the Ash and Monty around him, as well as from above. It's going to be Klimt who finds the opening pick this round onto Yeti. Mute gone off the board. Not a huge loss. His utility's already down and will take effect this round, but it is a gun off the board. But now Sus is going to be going for the plant as soon as they get laundry wall open here, because Monty can just cover him right from the front, and oh, the Nitro comes out, but Variant finds the frag first onto Sus, and Happers pushes right past the Monty. He's retaking up top, and Variant is well onto Kelsel, and with another. What a beautiful collapse from North Carolina there. Absolutely gorgeous. Didn't lose a single player in the retake. They lost Needle a little bit earlier, but as soon as that diffuser went down, North Carolina said, yeah, you know what? We should probably start playing now. Just cleaned five, just killed all 5 of them, nice and easy. Just a gorgeous retake there. I'm kind of interested to know Monday Morning's game plan there, because they just planted behind the Monty and Laundry. Did they really need that laundry wall open? Or did they just need lines of sights? Maybe that came back to bite them a bit later in the round. But Monday Morning is going to have to be really trying to look at what's going on, because now North Carolina completed that perfect site rotation. They're going back to Aviator, which they won already. They're looking pretty undefeatable here on the defense.
For sure, and it's just getting a little bit awkward for these two teams here, as it's getting... Oh, we see the return of the Clash, the 6-pick from Omayan to Clash, and as I was saying, like, I believe Siege is a very momentum-based game. I'm not sure quite... I don't know if you agree, but I personally think it's a very momentum-based game.
For the most part, yeah.
Like, if you have a couple strings of rounds going and you're going to be feeling yourself, you're going to be like, wow, I'm absolutely destroying these kids. And you're going to play more confidently, and you're going to, in turn, with more confidence comes either, for some people, more aim, for some people, it comes throws. And as of now, we're seeing 3-0 coming out here for the start of this half, and they get to go back to the site where they actually got, probably was their strongest showing as far as site-wise on this map. And they get to return to it now, since we already went through the 2-round site rotations, and now they get to return back here. And if they just keep stringing them together like this is going to be a very, very short first map.
Yeah, and it's nice to see Monday morning, making a bit more of a change this round as they decided to completely drop the Monty. It was working for him. Monty was usually the last one alive. He did his job, but I feel like there just could be more done. So CB's gonna hop on a gun instead of just having a shield in his hands. He's gonna see how this plays out. A little bit of swapping around. CB's gonna be playing the IQ now, and Kelso bringing the Capital out, an operator we have not seen played just quite yet. Could be huge for this site. Those asphyxiation bolts, as well as those smoke bolts, going to be able to just kind of cut lines of sight, move defenders out from their anchor spots. The Capital is a really useful operator, and I believe Happer sixed off of the Wamai in favor of Clash. So Kelso has absolutely nothing to worry about. When he wants to shoot his bolts, he just can't be shot. That's the only thing he kind of has to keep in the back of his head. But there's no magnets to misdirect his bolts. It's just going to be him shooting him. Kashta here going to be the first little bit of damage. He tries to push up main stairs, but is faced with a clash. And Clips with the opening pick once again onto Variant. I believe Variant was the first one to die last round as well. Again, the mute gone off the board. But like I said earlier, it's mute. His gadgetry's already down. There's not really, it's a gun. That's a huge loss. But he's not an operator that needs to stay alive for his utility to be useful.
Yeah. And definitely with mute, like, as long as you have your early gadgets down, you're fine. But it is getting to the point where you have to kind of worry about these attackers. It's kind of going towards the situation they were in last time with Clash taking a lot of damage there from the shot from the Ash downstairs. And we'll actually get a nice little angle up into that hallway, but still working it down. Ooh, one gets entry into study here, and it's getting good, but trying to get the ADS off. We'll get it off. The diffuser is now sitting in study, and but Kyle might get the flank here. Will actually just get shot by CB, who's repelled outside on the balcony, and is going to probably be starting to move in soon as the execute comes in, with Maverick starting to go for the wall in very short order here, it looks like, but Maestro is waiting for them to come through that study door, which as of now is not happening. The flashes do go down. Flash is very, very blind, and the Maverick will start torching the wall, but we will see Capital advancing towards the 90 wall, and it is currently, Flash is pushing up, starting to look fine. He is still full HP, so it's fine, but we'll get him down with the firebolt, assisted by his teammate over on main stairs in Ash, and it's it's ticking down right now with 44 seconds left on the clock to take the site. Lots of shots going out from below, but Buck is just being a distraction right now. Maverick is going to get the wall, it looks like. Maybe not, as the Maverick trick does not go off, as he missed one, and will actually get shot in the knees. His knees have been taken down by Yeti on the Maestro. Absolutely a lot more. Ooh, we'll get another one. Double kill for him, maybe even a triple. No, he will go down to the Ash, or pardon me, IQ of CB. And Ash is injured as well. And let's see if it's going to be the first round for Monday Morning Chapel, as it is getting to the point where it does look like a plant will go down from CB, so the plant is down. It is all up to Teebs on this Jaeger to get these 1v3 situation, 1v2 if he doesn't get revived. If Kasha does get revived, but he does get revived, so it is a 1v3, and immediately we'll get his head taken off with some lead planted in his cranial cavity, bringing it to a 4-0 lead for UNCC.
There we go. That's what Monday Morning was looking for. Just a single round, just to get in there, just to get that momentum flowing. Like you said earlier, Siege, it's not entirely a momentum-based game, but once you get that momentum going, if you're down a few rounds, as soon as you get that one good round in, you get hyped up. You're like, yeah, let's go. And that's when you start seeing rounds being chained together. So I'd be interested to see if Monday Morning can try to bring this back. They're only down 2 rounds. There's still 2 rounds left in this first half of the map. They could tie it up. We could go into the second half with a tie game, but Monday Morning can't drop a round anymore. But on the other side, North Carolina, after losing Aviator, so Aviator is still unlocked. They could go back there if they wanted to, but it looks like they're going to be going Trophy Statuary instead, perhaps thinking that they held that just a little bit better than they did Aviator. And I would say they did. But the reason Monday Morning, I think, got so much sort of pressure in bedroom last time was because they had that Monty. And now that there's no Monty on the board, I don't know how it's gonna go for them.
Need to locate and
and it's really
bombs as they can.
With that Monty, it was kind of like the kind of core of their attacking side, but they are swapping it out, and it seems to have been working since they got their first round without the Monty. And I'm glad to see it, because honestly, like, the Monty was getting some frags, but They needed more of like a anti-gadget focus, because the amount of gadgets that we're seeing coming out of the side of UNCC is actually kind of insane. Like every single person has some form of gadget utility. Like you have the bandits, the bandit charges of the bandit. You have the ADSs on Jaeger. You have the legions of Legion. They're good minds. The smoke canisters, which honestly that's not too big of an issue when it comes to IQ, because if you're pre-placing smoke canisters, I don't know what to tell you. You're doing it wrong. And then we have obviously the magnets of Lamai.
Oh no, I'm gonna have a problem with that one. There's very select scenarios where pre-placing smokes are actually decent, and by pre-placing I mean like, oh, there's a Monty on the other side of the wall. Let me put this here for when he moves in. Very short pre-place, but if you stick it right, so it's stuck like on the underside of something, it actually shoots down and out like to the sides, as opposed to just hitting it on the wall. Because the way smoke canisters work is whatever surface they're on, they get deployed straight out from that surface. So if it's on a wall, it's going to go away from that wall, basically. Whereas if it's on the floor, it's going to go up and could potentially go through the wall. So if anyone was interested in knowing how those like smokes through the walls work, there you go.
Yeah.
But getting back into the round, teams on the roam once again in living room. 3 drones. We see 4 attackers on the drones right now, but hopping off. It's going to be Teebs on the roam. We'll find one on the cache, and Kyle pushing right up on this IQ. IQ is going to see him. No, he's not. He's going to find the buff and a second on the CD. Kyle with this just insane flank. Yeah, the beautiful drone work coming out from Monday morning, but nothing to watch their flanks, and Kyle punishes them for it. And it's a 2v5 with just barely a minute into the round.
Yeah. Honestly, that flank from Kyle was kind of insane, just giving so much pressure to his team by taking out 2 people at once. I thought it was going to be a mess up at first, because he really looked kind of confused about who to go for, as I guess he heard someone to his left when he originally tried to aim down at CB on the IQ, and just got kind of caught up trying to figure out who he wanted to shoot first, and it ended up working out for him in the end with a double kill, but it was really, really scary there for a hot second.
Yeah, it's always really just anxious and anxiety inducing when you see someone go for those sneaky plays, right? Like Kyle looked at the IQ, right? He totally looked at CB and he decided not to shoot, which was absolutely brilliant, because CB is on her scanner looking straight up. She's not looking down. She wouldn't have seen him there. So he hears Klimps on his left, turns and takes Klimps out first, because once he takes Klimps out, CB is on his pistol on a scanner. So now he has to swap to his primary, giving Kyle enough time to take him out. Whether if that was intentional or not from Kyle, I don't know. That's why that double kill just worked out so well for him. And yes, Sus and Kelsel have no idea what to do now. They look completely lost. There's no gunshots. I say, of course, it's Teebs. Oh no! Please tell me that wasn't through the floor of the stairs. I don't know if he downed him when he peeked the stairs and then finished him through the floor. But if he downed him through the floor, that's gotta be so that's gotta be so rage-inducing. But anyways, Kelsel 1v5. He does have the diffuser in hand, all utility at his disposal, but with 5 seconds on the clock, there isn't much he can do. And of course, UNC just waiting this out is gonna put their 4th round on the board.
Yeah, UNCC really stringing these rounds together, and it's not really working out to what necessarily Monday Morning Chapel want here. Is it's now getting into a dangerous situation where if they don't start stringing stuff together soon, they're going to be left in the dust.
They got to try to do something. So Villa does tend to be a defender side, Matt. So even though we're seeing 4-1 right now, as soon as the side swaps, we could be seeing a completely different story. Monday morning could just start chaining rounds together. But if North Carolina takes this last round, goes into the half 5, 4-2, that's a pretty even scoreline, you see. Not to worry, we'll bring it back on our defense. But at 5-1, you really don't want to see that. That's when you're kind of in some dangerous territory. Because now when the defense now goes on to attack, they only need to win 2 rounds to win. And that's a pretty standard thing to do for a half if you're attacking, especially on Villa. But anyways, North Carolina, after winning trophy, Aviator is still open for them. They're just going to go through this full rotation to finish out their defensive half. They said, yeah, Aviator didn't quite work out for us. It worked the first time, but the second time, Monday morning, kind of figured it out. So we're not even going to bother with it anymore. We're going to go back into kitchen because we won it last time. they got the diffuser down, but it was a 4v5, and we just clean sweeped them, absolutely demolished them, just walked right through their post-plant setup, and well, I'm assuming they're going to try to deny the diffuser from even going down in the first place, but if it does go down, they really won't have much to worry about.
Definitely, I do like to pick up the Valkyrie here, actually. The Valkyrie pickup here, I think, is actually going to be really great for them, as it is so much info is gathered through the use of those cams, and if they can actually keep them up, despite there being an IQ, like the IQ pick, I think, might have kind of just throw the pick out here, but we are going to see a little bit of a maybe peek here coming out from the top of Astra, but nothing going to come of it right now. But we are actually going to maybe just see drones coming out here and just standard droning stuff. But, ooh, very aggressive actually from Klimska, just jumping into the closet right here. Absolutely no care about if anyone was actually in there or not, but just gets droned out. And we will see a lot of master side control coming out from MMC right here. And it's great news as they're getting it in very, very early here. With more than 2 minutes left in the round, so definitely got loads of time to actually mess around here and try to figure out what they want to do and see if they can get any picks here. But as of now, it's just Pulse and Mute hanging out downstairs, trying to see if they can get anybody inside of that master area, and just trying to see how they can give themselves more advantages going into it. And right now, we actually see Buck trying to get something. Pulse might get one here. He does see the heartbeat of the Buck upstairs. Will maybe get a Nitro off, but ooh, is getting close. He does see him. He's picking him out. Ooh, he might get 2 here, actually. But Teams gets the leading one off here. Double kill onto CB and Klims. Is popping off. Headshots to both, bringing it right back into the favor of UNCC Charlotte here. And right as I say that, he gets the triple kill. He's just absolutely putting on a masterclass here upon how to hold Astro from behind the desk. Just absolutely decimating the side of UNCC. Kashta may be a little bit confused with how he died there. And actually will... Sus getting a little hit up there, but ooh, it's getting spicy. And Teams will actually fall to Calcel on that Capital, but it is a 2v4 situation regardless. And it's getting, ooh, might be the 2v1 right now. 4v1 now, but actually I think Pulse has already used his Nitro, so he's not, ooh, well actually it's shot to the floor. Sus takes him down with that verticality. And it will be brought to a 2v3, but they are taking Astra control right now, as they do have both of their their only 2 remaining players already inside of the Astra area, and we will actually see maybe a flank coming up from the Astra stairs, as Kyle Pog does look like he wants to go up these Astra stairs as he's holding the angle into over by Mudroom, but he will get fragged out and will have to run away. But Hypers gets the kill onto, or Hexpers gets the kill onto someone, and I lost it, so Sus is gonna quickly trade that back onto Hexpers. Pronunciations are everything, and getting informed how to pronounce his name. That is why I got lost in the kill feed, but getting back into things. 1v2 situation right now for Sus, and will eventually get dropped by Kyle, hitting him with that Legion SMG, giving them their 5th round on the board.
It's okay, Bonsai. I have Twitch chat open.
That's exactly what happened.
Hexpers is in chat. I already hit him up. I said, yo, how do you say your name? He goes, Hexpers. I go, thanks, man. I was saying Happers, because I know some people just put X instead of A. Hexpers, yeah. That you gotta love it. So yeah, I don't know. This is totally not a pre-recorded match, by the way. Anyways, 5-1 split on the side swap here isn't looking good for Monday Morning Chapel whatsoever. They will have a chance to finally defend. They could, again, just turn things around. Maybe they go 6-0 for this next half. But it's really just going to come down to this first round. This first round is going to set the entire tone for the rest of this half and probably for the rest of this game. This Monday Morning doesn't look like they're putting up that great of a fight right now. Yeah, they're looking really well coordinated, but North Carolina is just sitting them down at this point. This is time for Monday Morning to kind of step it up and say, yeah, we're playing, we're in the game still. Like 5-1, whatever. We're gonna win this out. We're gonna win it back, play it back, run it back. We got this. But it comes down to how they're gonna play it. The ops they're bringing isn't anything too crazy. Compared to North Carolina, they're not bringing a Clash. They have a Vigil instead. Probably more for the roam game, and of course a smoke instead of a mute with Bandit for some denial. So just a few slight differences, nothing too crazy. And on the attack here, the main difference to be pointed out is the Nomad that variant is bringing. Villa is such a roam-heavy map, you almost always need some sort of roam watch, whether that be a teammate that sits on a drone, a teammate that sits there on their gun watching the stairs, nomads, gridlock tracks, anything, claymores, whatever it may be, but you need something or else the flanks are just going to completely decimate you. And yeah, variant bringing the nomad is definitely a worthwhile task here. But getting into the round, I saw someone spawn peek. I want to say it was probably Kashta, but no damage on the board for either side, so nothing too fruitful just yet. His drones are coming out up top, looking for this Jaeger, who's playing some puncher bullet holes in Master Wall. Bullet holes and Klimps, you dirty boy, finds a bullet hole headshot onto Yeti on the Habana, but Kyle opening up that skull wall with her breaching charge is going to get the refrag. Really nice cutoff there from Kyle.
Yeah, and that's going to be quick trade. Nonetheless, that's still, I think, value for Monday morning here, as it is the Habana off. And quickly, okay, just cashed outside, not caring too much, clearly, but what? No one on,
no one's gonna punish him for this?
Yeah, I guess not. He's just hanging out outside, but actually will get punished right upon hopping back in by Hexpers, takes him down with the headshot. As he should have been, honestly, because that, if he got away with that, that would have been a little too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, props to North Carolina, especially right now, just being on top of their trades. Yeah, the defense gets an early pick, but they always have someone covering it in very quick on the refrag. I mean, Kashta, that was basically, shooting fish in a barrel. Is that the saying? But, still, nonetheless, smart to push in through kitchen instead of taking the peek from outside on the drop. But it comes down to Kyle Teeps and Hexpress to try to take the site now, and they still have utility on the board. No hard breach. No, they have the Maverick. So yeah, they have pretty much all the utility they could need. Perhaps some smokes would make it a little bit easier, but they didn't have any smokes to begin with. As Kyle tries to push in, but it's fragged out by CB, and Teebs, again, quick on the refrag, will take CB out. Just North Carolina just getting fragged, but quick with the refrags. You love to see it, but the Toxic Babes from Smoke's coming out, and so are the bullets from Teebs' gun as they find Sus and will down him behind bar, but Smoke can just use his Toxic Babes, smoke the door, and kind of not worry about it as he goes for the revive. It's the third canister out, though, in 25 seconds left. North Carolina's going to have to try to do something. 2v2, North Carolina does have the health advantage here, but they're still not quite in sight. 15 seconds. Maverick's going to make the move behind Vault Door, and Sus and Kelso are now going to have to be the aggressors here. His team's just sitting back and holding an angle. He's just waiting for the peek. A little bit of a pre-fire will find the smoke. Actually, no, Sus finds the smoke on a team kill, and the Hexpers cleaning their round up, taking Sus off, and that's round 7 for North Carolina. That's match point for North Carolina. 6-1, rather.
You hate to see it. You really do. Just absolute sadness. They had it there, but Teebs is 12-3.
And Hexpers close up behind them. On the flip side, though, a lot of evenly spread kills. Nothing too crazy, though, but Teebs, you mad lad.
Matt, he is laying down the law right now. It is the Teebs show. It is Teebs with a supporting cast of Kyle, Yeti, Variants, and Hexpers. Absolutely putting on a masterclass of a frag performance for his team, which is reflecting in the score here, as we are at 6-1 on match point for this first map.
I mean, North Carolina has that victory for this first map. They can literally taste it. They can stick their tongue out, and it is right there. But Monday morning, are they going to go down with such little of a fight? I want to see more. After yesterday's Villa match, it was just so close. But I mean, to point out, Monday morning does have the most opening picks for this map. They have 4 opening picks. North Carolina only has 3, so one more, But still, they just can't capitalize it. They get that early pick, and North Carolina is just so quick on the refrag that Monday morning just can't get away with it. That should be such a huge advantage, but North Carolina just rips that right from them as soon as they get it.
5 seconds to insertion.
it's. I feel like this game is getting out of the control of Monday morning. They are putting forth, I think, as much as they can possibly muster with this, as it has just been a series of unfortunate events. As you were saying, they are getting these opening kills, but they can't keep stringing them together. They keep losing that mid-round pressure, where that's how UNC Charlotte get back into this. UNC Charlotte has much better mid-round to late-round executes, in my opinion, as they keep getting into these, they keep going for it, and obviously there are a lot of unfortunate circumstances happening with Monday morning, with like the TK from Sus onto the smoke of, I believe it was Calcel, and just kind of throwing things in a little bit of a tizzy, but just UNC Charlotte just, granted, Teebs is absolutely destroying them right now. Like, there's no question. Like, even on defense, just absolute masterclass, and it's only gone up from there, with Zofia kind of just entering like a madman into the site as solo, going for it, but someone on the side of Monday Morning Chapel has to step up with it. I don't know if it's Klimps, I don't know if it's CB, it has to be someone though. Otherwise, this is going to be the last round of this map, and it's coming down to the wire here, as this is quarterfinals. Once you lose the game, or like the match, you're out. You're waiting until, I think it's probably in the fall at some point, for when the regular season comes back around for the collegiate scene, and that's a long time. Granted, not maybe as much now, but it's still, you don't get nearly as much siege time as you maybe want to, and it's honestly, they're fighting for their tournament lives here.
Yeah, Kasha though gonna be the first to find a pick this match. Klim's very close behind, taking Kyle and Hexpers off. Ash and Mav off the board. Ivana gonna be trying to open up that master wall. Bavarian being lit very low, I believe, by Klimt as well. And it's Monday morning, looks like they got a little bit of pep in their step here. 5v3 already. A minute left, CB rubbing it in even more. 5v2. And 5v1, and CB finds yet another. You said someone needs to step it up. CB said, yeah, you know what? That'll be me. He's just going to start fragging out. Yeti, though, going to sit him down. Going to say, yeah, you know, not too fast. We're going to get at least one pick this round. We're not going to let it go flawless. But in a 1v4, it's not looking too good as Kasha. Opening pick and the final pick for this round, taking Yeti off. And Monday morning, putting their second round on the board, showing that, hey, we're not off the board just yet.
For sure. And it's really Koster really putting it together there for his team there, and it was his play that kind of cut off a lot of the stuff that was going down. It was pretty much just a lot of shots going right, and as odd as it is to say it's shots going right in general, but it really is like your aim is pretty much the deciding factor when it gets into games like these. It's if you're hitting your shots, you can pretty much accomplish anything, and it's really what happened there. Is Kosta and CB trying to putting their heads together there and bringing it back to a 6-2, and we're getting to a point where we might actually see a little bit of a comeback here.
If that's what they want to do, I say go for it. I'd love to see it. I want to say that Echo isn't allowed.
Echo isn't allowed.
Yeah. But, you know, we'll turn away. We'll pretend like we didn't see it. Yeah, he's allowed in Pro League, but not necessarily in CEA just yet. But Monday morning, pulling out all the stops they can to try to win this round. For all of you that don't know, Echo had a recent sort of glitch that his Echo drones would be invincible. You put them up on the ceiling and you couldn't shoot them, you couldn't break them. Ubisoft did release a patch. They didn't specifically state that they fixed it, but Pro League allowed him back in. I personally haven't seen any invincible Echo drones, but CEA's ruling is still technically he's not allowed. But we're gonna have to do, we are gonna have to rehost because he is still disallowed for CEA. So I think this should be a pretty quick rehost. I don't think we'll have to throw it into a 5-minute break because we didn't have a clash. We're just gonna have to run through the final scoreboard and get the other team here. But regardless, anyways, yeah. So for those of you that didn't know, there was a glitch. I don't know if it's fixed or not yet, and that's why CEA still has him disallowed because we're not sure if he's fixed or not. It's one of those glitches that it's not something that happens all the time. It happens, every so often, so you can never be sure if it's fixed or not. But this should be a very quick rehost here, getting everyone back into the lobby.
Yeah, and it will be very, very quick here, I believe. As, yep, very, very quick going in here. As we are swapping over for a hot second, just a little bit of a technical thing going down, but we will be getting back into it very, very quickly.
But yeah, Monday morning really just has to throw some round. They got the one. That's their one. But with this rehost and them running Echo, even though he's not allowed, this could throw a massive wrench in the momentum that they could have had going. Like this is perfect. They won a round before and couldn't get the momentum moving, but they just won a round. It's their first defensive round win. Now they can try to start chaining the rounds together. But with this, the rehost, they're gonna have to take a break, take a second, sit back. We will be hopping right back into this on round 9, but still, it's just that little disjointedness, which could work just as well for Monday morning. North Carolina could kind of be thrown off their game. They did just lose a round. Maybe their momentum's gonna kind of flake off here, but it just comes down to whether or not Monday morning is going to capitalize on this or not. Taking similar ops as last time, but of course, just not the Echo. Variant, not quite sure if he's going to be on the Gridlock or the Nomad, but on one of the operators to sort of slow or stop the roam entirely.
Yeah, and well, they are getting back into these. And Echo would have been really cool, as I have actually personally run into the Invincible Yokai bug, and it's not fun. It's confusion inducing and can lose you rounds in OT, and it's not fun. And honestly, I played after the patch came out and it didn't fix it. Unfortunately, it was still. I had a couple of those invincible yokais happen to me afterwards.
Locate and defuse bombs.
But we will be getting into things back on round 9, as Picard was saying, going to bar here. And we will see both Mozzie and Valkyrie coming out here, which is nice to see, as that is a lot of intel and denial on both sides of the coin. And I don't know about you, but Mozzie is a fun operator in general, so I'd pick him either way, regardless of he's better or not. It's kind of like one of those Warden picks where it's like, you know what? He's fun.
Oh, I think Mozzie's just a well-rounded operator. I think him losing the Super Shorty makes him not ideal for every single situation, because when he had that Super Shorty, he was an operator that denied intel, had a Nitro, and could make rotates. That's basically all you need. But since he lost the Super Shorty, you pretty much always need someone who has some sort of soft reach. But with Kelsel usually running this smoke, you don't really need a Super Shorty for that, because you have smoke's primary. But yeah, the Mozzie just in general, his gadget's really good. It denies intel or even turns into intel for the defense. Plus, he has some pretty solid guns. I know there's a pretty big debate over Roni or Commando. I prefer the Commando. It's obviously the better gun, but some people don't see that. But regardless, yeah, Mozzie is just generally a really good pick.
For sure, and especially when it's paired with operators like Jaeger and Valkor, very, very strong operators in terms of just raw fragging power. It can get a little kind of scary to go up against, as it is just a wall that you hit in terms of just being able to actually shoot your shot or just absolutely even get into sight.
Yeah, Aviator defense here. A minute in the clock, not much ground being made from North Carolina's side here. Some drones no, this is actually the Mozzie drone here. He captured it and he now has it for his own intel. Kashta on the roam down below in Memorial, just buying his time, waiting for the attack to push up so he can get behind him. But the rest of the defense really are playing it quite safe inside, not picking any aggressive angles. Oh, of course, Kashta though doesn't even need the pulse. He has the drone for intel. Will find Teebs with a Nitro from below. Beautiful early pick, especially Teebs being the top fragger from North Carolina. Taking him off the board is absolutely huge. Not only the top fragger, but a lot of the utility on North Carolina's side. No more impacts or concussions. They're just pretty much going to have to dry push. Having a few flashes is always nice, but Kyle is waiting for Kashta on the bottom floor, again with the refrags from North Carolina. Not quite as quick as the last couple of rounds, but still there nonetheless. Kashta's going to be taken off the board. Kashta will no longer be able to move his drone in 90 there on the bot, which we just saw, but he'll still be able to sit on it and look at it. But Kelsel on the smoke, pushing 90. Not sure why. Bavarian's going to punish him for that, but Klim's quick on the refrag. He's going to find Yeti and say came off the board. That's the Hibana gone. Most of the heartbeat gone, and Klim swinging 90 is going to find the prone Nomad, who is laying inside of Smoke's body. Beautiful pick. Klim's is sort of stepping it up right now, but he is on low health, so he's going to have to try to stay alive as long as he can. 25 seconds on the clock. Down to Velkin Bandit now as Klimps falls to Kyle. Kyle stepping it up for North Carolina on the opposing side, bringing it to a 2v2, actually in favor of North Carolina. CB is very, very low on HP, but having to push into sight, CB is going to find Kyle, and it's not out just to Hexpers. Diffuser down in long haul. He's finally going to find the Mozzie drum that's been giving him so much intel, and yeah, he just does not have time to kill two or grab the diffuser. So Monday morning, that's the first time they've put 2 rounds. They've won 2 rounds back to back.
Yeah, and it's the string of the rounds. Like the momentum's coming back. Maybe that rehost gave MMC what they needed to actually get back into this in terms of just mentality, just stopping the momentum for UNCC and absolutely just hopping back in here, giving them that little run back potential.
You really like to see it. You like this sort of comeback action. Monday morning still does have a chance to bring it back. They could win the next 3 rounds rather in a row, which is usually very unlikely. They've already won 2 sites, so they're now going to have to go to a tertiary site, Kitchen Dining. If they win this one, they can go back to Trophy and then back to Aviator. The rest of this game is going to depend on the single round. Basically, because if they win it, then North Carolina doesn't win, and if they lose it, then North Carolina wins and map's over. Anyways, but regardless, this is going to be the hardest site Monday morning has to hold. It's a tertiary site for a reason. It's usually a bit weaker, but it just really depends on the team. Some teams have really strong holds of tertiary sites. It just comes down to whether Monday morning has the prep work in place. Kind of looking like they do. A Goyo coming out from Sus, an operator we haven't seen quite yet. Monday morning going to be playing into this sort of utility denial, as well as probably trying to get some nitros from below. The combination of the Pulse and Goyo and Mozzie with nitros as well could be detrimental to North Carolina.
For sure, and just talking more on that Goyo, he has so much area denial with those Vulcan shields. It's a massive amount of fire that's just spread everywhere and just kind of pushing off the defenders, and especially it's also great as a finisher, as the initial explosion does do damage, and quite a bit of damage at that. So definitely using those Vulcans to your advantage. Gonna give you a little bit more of an angle to go off of here, as they are putting them near every major doorway where they could possibly get in for the attackers, and that's gonna delay things massively if they can get those popped at the right time. But then again, the attackers also do have a Iana, which we haven't actually seen any of, I don't think, so far. Period. And she's an interesting operator just because her Gemini can be very, very misleading, and it's also kind of a walking drone that will absolutely make the defenders jump because they're like, oh snap, someone's coming at me. But it's also pretty great in general, and right as I say that, Klimps gets the leading kill on the team. The man, the myth, the legend for UNCC gets taken down early on here, and Hexpers quickly trades back, avenging his teammate, depositing a piece of... Ooh, no! Calcel not even noticing that Yeti was popping through him, but Sus gets the double kill on the variant Kyle, and will eventually bring it back for his team. But now we are in a situation where it's a 1v3 situation all up to Hexpers, and immediately gets taken down by that Vector on the Goyo. And it's a run back situation right here. Sus got 2, but he does immediately get traded back by the... Actually, no, we'll get a third, so that's a triple kill for him on the round, 2 with the Nitro, the great throw from him.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, Monday morning, stringing these rounds together, finally, you love to see it. 3 rounds in a row now, and now they can go back to Trophy Statuary and then Aviator Games. This could be huge for them. Those are the 2 stronger sites. Now it's more of it's on North Carolina to figure out the weaknesses of Monday morning's holds and where to exploit them. North Carolina taking a page out of Monday morning's book, though, bringing the Capital. Monday morning did this earlier. Of course, as I say something, it gets changed. But 6ing onto the Monty, still definitely a really good pick, especially considering that, well, Monday morning really doesn't have any operator that's really great at countering Montaigne. If you don't have a Smoke or a Legion, or Echo's banned, but a Smoke or a Legion or even an Ella just to do something to drop his shield, Monty can really be a menace to deal with.
For sure, and it was looking good on the side of MMC when they were running on their attack, so I'm very curious to see if Yeti can have the same success that CB was having when he was running the Monty for Monday morning. But we will actually also see the Nomad coming out here. Nomad is one of those operators where very, very strong zone denial with those air jabs, and it's very obvious when someone hits it as you hear that loud thunk sound, and you just get launched. So if you get hit by the air jab, it could definitely change a losing situation to winning one very fast.
I never even thought about that. If there's an air jab above the Monty, you could just trigger the air jab. You would need a teammate kind of nearby to help you out with it because Monty gets dropped as well as you get your weapons or shield back up at the same time. But I would love to see that play. Just someone baiting the Monty into an air jab gets sets off, and that's how they get. That would be genius. I'm sure there's those plays out there already, but we'd love to see it at CEA, of course. But Kyle entering all the way from basement, some drones going in. He picked up his drone, making sure to hold on to that. He's going to be pushing up, probably going to take below the site. Going to be trying to deal as much damage to the defender gadgets as he can from below. Yeah, just spawning out everything they got. 3 bandit batteries already placed down. They're going to be taken off entirely by Kyle playing below. But you do have to be careful of the flanks. Does have a little bit of help from Variant, who is the Nomad, who will be probably dropping her air jabs to cover the flanks. So really not much to worry about from Kyle's perspective here. His teammates are joining him out. He can focus on just taking the gadgets down. But in saying so, Klimps on the flank here all the way in basement. It's going to be playing a little sneaky game here. He sees the basement door open, so he knows where the attack entered. Now he just has to follow their footsteps up into kitchen. And this could be a massive round changer for Monday morning if Klimps gets this flank off. But before he can, Kasha's going to find the frag onto Hexburst. And there's no air jabs down. Klimps is literally crouch walking all the way through. He sees IQ. He's going to wait for it, though. He's going to take his time. He knows there's more attackers right there. He sees Nomad. He's going to shoot. He misses, but IQ runs right into his loving arms. And the pre-fire retreat here as he backs off. The attackers now know that he's behind him. And Klimps is just now going to be buying time. Villa as a map is just a fight against time as Klimps finds another one on the Variant with a flank. And Maestro dropping to try to help him out will be dropped. Teebs and Klimps and Teebs switching spots entirely. Teebs in a 1v4 here. A minute left on the clock. So Teebs does still have plenty of time to work with, but Teebs has to go try to get that diffuser, which is dropped on bottom Astro's stairs. And he doesn't know where these roamers are. He saw Klimps cross towards Astro's stairs, so he could have went up or he could have went down the stairs. And he's not sure what other Monday morning defenders dropped to try to find that frag. So he's playing this very carefully, but not quite carefully enough. Is Klimps, I want to say that was a 4K from Klimps that round, dropping North Carolina off the board and bringing it to a 6-5. Monday morning needs one more round to try to tie this up.
Yeah, and it's getting to a little bit of a spicy match here, as it was looking really, really bleak here for Monday morning as they were down 6-1, 6-2. Like, it was looking
6-1.
Yeah, it was looking dire, and they are just running it back here with Klimps just popping off. He is 6-0 and 2 right now, but Sus and CB not to be counted out here as well, as they're both, I believe, 3-0, so they haven't died yet on this rehost. So comparatively with the other one, I think 2 people on the side of MMU actually have over 10 kills right now, and it's looking great for them right now. If they can get this overtime and just keep running it back, like, it's gonna look
if Monday morning actually pulls off this 6-1 comeback, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is insane. I'm hyped up for it.
Oh, for sure.
Monday morning has been getting those opening frags almost. They've gone it every single round since the half, and they're 1 round away now from tying it up. So North Carolina looking a little scared here. They were 6-1. They had every right in the world to, throw a couple rounds. You only need 1 more. But Monday morning is not letting them get a single round off of them. They're holding on quite literally for dear life here. But they're managing to pull themselves up very well. And now they're so very close to getting their foot over the ledge and bringing it to overtime for Villa. But North Carolina is probably going to be stepping on their fingers and trying to knock them off. But regardless, nothing crazy in terms of operators. Once again, North Carolina and Monday morning just kind of sticking to their guns on their operator picks here. both very well-rounded out selections from both sides. Lots of Rome denial, lots of Intel denial rather from both. So it really just comes down to gunplay at this point, and whether or not North Carolina can manage their time effectively, because Villa is basically a map where you play against time. You're constantly fighting the clock. You need to take this ground, you need to take this wall. Meanwhile, while clearing out the Rome, it's just a constant fight against time. And we see Klimt here trying to buy as much time as he can, since he cautious. Oh, Window tries to find Kyle and just very narrowly doesn't finish him off. He just deals massive amounts of damage, though.
Yeah, massive amounts of damage is something that he will definitely take in this situation, as massive amounts of damage this early in, especially on someone like an IQ who has to kind of put herself out there in order to actually get anywhere with the drones, or just trying to get any kind of gadget denial down, because she has to go actually force it out into a situation where she can possibly die from the flank, as we saw last time with Klimt's actually on the large flank with the Jaeger, took out a majority of the UNCC team, and that's actually what gave them that round, was just an amazing flank from him. And if he can pull it off again, especially onto a low health IQ, that's just one easy picking.
Yeah, one difference is I don't know. Klimt, I believe, is on site. It's actually going to be Koshta on the roam this round, trying to live up to Klimt, trying to fill those massive shoes he left behind with his just insane flank presence. He does have a Nomad to worry about, so I would assume there was an air jab top Astro stairs. There wasn't. I don't think Nomad placed any of her air jabs last round, but Koshta's going to have to fight Kyle first, as they're right around the corner. And yeah, IQ being very, very low from Klimt earlier will finally be finished off by Koshta. And there's no one from North Carolina to trade him off this time. Koshta looks like he's going to be able to get away with that scot-free. Now, what does he do with his life, though? He sees the Zofia above him. He's going to take his time, and oh, he's going to just barely miss it. Team's just dancing out of his view. Meanwhile, on site, the first smoke canister is going to be dropped. 45 seconds left. That's about time. You always want to try to hold on for as long as you can. Second one gets dropped already as well. Being a little bit rushed, Hexper is going to be pushing 90. I believe he opened up Bolt a little bit, and we'll find the frag onto CB, evening the man count here. But 30 seconds left. The attack's going to have to try to get into sight, and Klimt is holding steady, but yet he sits him down, and Koshta with yet another pick from the flank will find Variant. But now he has to face Teebs, and there was a drone under the benches that's spawning Koshta out, and yeah, Teebs will sit him down. But he bought so much time, a 3v2. Still, it's not looking good for the attack as the Nitro comes out from Sus. We'll find Hexpers, but Teebs is still planning. Yet he just has to cover him. And looking away, Teebs gets the diffuser down and will back out. And it's now a 2v2 scenario. Teebs and Yeti split from each other. Sus and Kelsel will have to try to take the diffuser back. They're going to have to try to win their ones, and that's not looking good as Yeti finds Kelsel and sits him down. Sus trying to find the head of Teebs, being lit very low, whips the Deagle out and turns around. He's in the middle of two attackers right now. Nothing you want to be, so he's going to have to try to take the fight. Looks away from Teebs, who's sitting on red stairs there, and gets lit to very, very low. He's going to be going back to site, but he has very little time to get diffuser. Well, down the Habana is going to go for defuse. He has time for this, but Teebs, there's no way Teebs lets this happen. Yeah, Teebs is going to shut him down, and that's North Carolina winning out Villa, as they probably should have rounds ago. Props to North Carolina. 6-1, almost bringing it back to overtime to 6-5, but North Carolina they were done playing with them. They just wanted to shut it out, and that they did.
Yeah, and just honestly, it was looking scary there, as it was in a 1v1 situation, and the defuse looked like it was about to go actually down there. And lucky for UNCC that Teebs actually came up to check it, because if he doesn't check it and he's still sitting down there around with the time when they actually started running up, it's not going to look good. Like, that could have been the round and into overtime right there.
Yeah, it's just I don't know how the scoreline got so skewed in the first place. The ending scoreline of 7-5 definitely depicts these two teams a lot better than the 6-1 it was originally, just because Monday Morning had just the crazy amounts of opening picks. They had 8 of the opening picks, whereas North Carolina only had 3. In saying so, the reason North Carolina won so many rounds was because they were so clean at covering each other's backs, watching each other, getting those refrags from those opening picks, and not letting them be punished for it. They were very quick to act on it. So props to both sides. Ooh, I have a feeling we're going to see a map 3 tonight, Bonds. I
think
wasn't
so,
thinking
too.
at first, but with a 7-5 scoreline, oh no, North, and it looks like Monday morning's been warmed up as well. But anyways, our next map will be Cafe, and these teams are going to have to fight through that first to try to get through it.
And we will be going to a short break before then, so stick with us. We'll be back in a hot second.
Welcome back. Very, very quick break here. Is this the map we had Villa between North Carolina on Monday morning? It was just crazy. It got me amped up. North Carolina Monday morning. North Carolina going 6-1. Then Monday morning bringing it back to 6-5. Just crazy stuff here. I'm looking forward to getting into Map 2 Cafe. But before we do, of course, we need to give a shout out to our sponsors because they're what makes this possible and exciting and fun. Firstly, Corsair for some really top quality stuff. I can speak for myself. I got a nice Corsair keyboard. It's really nice. I love it. RGB, everything, super quality. If you ever need anything, any peripherals, anything computer related, go check them out. Of course, Rogue Energy for all their energy gaming powder, gaming powder, energy drinks. It's really good stuff. I honestly don't even mix it with water. My buddy Duke Carge brought me a little packet of it. I just stuck my finger in it, licked it. It was really good. It's not chalky like the other stuff. Don't forget to use code CEA at checkout for 10% off. And of course, what's new.gg for their really quality clothing, CEA clothing. Yeah, we have hats, joggers, and many more. Go ahead and check them out. What's new.gg. They got a CEA section. And of course, the teams playing tonight are playing for charity, but also for some CEA merch. I really wanted that dad hat.
Yeah, the merch is pretty good. I myself am partial to the mouse pad, the Flare mouse pad. That one looks really, really dope. So make sure you go check them out. And we will be into this map 2 here very, very shortly, as we are going to see Cath A for the second one. And And as you can hear the dong go, we're going to be getting into it right quick. And any predictions for how this map is going to go here, Flucard?
I think it's actually going to go in Monday morning's favor. I think it will. Because Monday morning, A, has gotten most of the entry frags on the first map, and B, it looks like they're warmed up now, right? The Monday morning we saw in the second half of Villa was almost completely different from what we saw the first half. Now, I don't know if it was just they were defending that half, but they're going to be starting defending on Cafe. So I think Monday morning, I don't know if it's going to be, it's got to be close again, right? North Carolina's not going to let them just take this map. You think along the same lines?
I gotta agree with that, because it's definitely getting to the point where it's very, very up in the air about who's going to take these rounds, especially where, like, definitely, like, the last map, it looked like it was obviously going to go on the side of UNCC as blowout 9-1, or 6-1 going into it, and then just Monday morning running it back, almost sending it to overtime, so definitely going to come down to a lot of key battles later in the round, and you just got to kind of cross your fingers and flip a coin, it seems, to how these rounds are going to be going, and I'm very excited to see how it goes.
It's really, I'm looking forward to it. The band's coming out, already finished already. Nothing too crazy. The Nomad band we haven't seen before, kind of interesting to say the least. You almost always want to have some sort of flank launch on probably red stairs if you're taking from that red stairs hatch. But of course, as Variant is showing us right now, there is a beautiful counterpart to Nomad, which is the gridlock. Thatcher, again, typical, nothing crazy. Maestro, we also didn't see him being banned, and especially since Echo's banned, that actually could be a really big brain play now that there's really no plant denial. Besides, of course, nitros or shooting. And of course, Mira never gets to see any games anymore. Yeah, she's in timeout forever.
Yeah. I don't know when you thought Mira was going to come out. Definitely never anytime in this lifetime. But
she got like a good season. She got a good couple seasons before the ban system got implemented, and then she just. That's why she's working on so many of other people's gadgets, right? Like if you read the lore of Siege, Mira was the one who made Tachanka's shield, and she's the one buffing people and looking for people. Like she writes all the reports on the new operators, like Callie. That's why she never gets to actually like train with the rest of the operators. She's always banned.
And definitely for good reason too. She's very, very busted. I don't care what you say. Anyway, you have a one-way mirror with people who have, in some situations, absolutely crack game. Like, I'm not gonna go for that. Like, heck no.
It's a very difficult gadget to counter. And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm kind of surprised we don't see more Twitch players, right? Like, I know a lot of Twitch mains get a lot of crap because they're Twitch mains. And the F2 is a really solid gun. Her Twitch drone, a really solid gadget that can take care of pretty much anything on the board. If not take care of it, just disable it for a short amount of time. I feel like Twitch is so useful. I got on that because she's one of the few ops that can actually counter Mira. You can always throw a smoke in front of it, but it shouldn't matter for this map as there is no Mira even on the board. But anyways, North Carolina starting their attack here, going all the way up to the ceiling as most attacks start. And no operator too crazy on the board. We finally get to see a Cade play tonight. He was banned on Villa. He will be being played now though by Sus. I'd actually be kind of interested to see if he has the Big T or the AUG. That's just something we're going to have to keep an eye out for. But North Carolina looking to probably drop one of the hatches here, one if not both. Try to take into piano as the standard bar cocktail take goes. Just a little bit of worry that they need to have in the back of their minds though is Klimps and Koshta are down below. It looks like Kyle's going to be trying to take care of Klimps as early on as he can, and yeah, boom, headshot as Klimps is taken off the board. Kyle looking pushing that. I don't even know if there was any intel there for Kyle because he just waited for him there. But Koshta looking to try to find the refrag here. Isn't going to quite find anything. This Kyle's just going to hop on his scanner and look below, see if he can't find any gadgets to take care of.
Yeah, and so far no dice, but definitely seeing Klimps off the board, who was kind of a stalwart aimer for his team last game, taking out very early on that Jaeger, who is one of the strongest fragging powers, just fragging forces in general in terms of just team comp. It's going to get really awkward here, but so far it is just a lot of pressure getting pushed into the, I believe it was piano area for UNCC Charlotte. And,
A bomb.
sorry, felt like I sneezed. And we will see the bar
Bless you.
opening up, and it is going to be one of the easiest avenues actually to go to plant. And he can just kind of sneak in there and plant by the bar, as MMC actually didn't, Monday Morning didn't shoot out the bar nuggets or the bar itself, so or at least I couldn't tell. So if Calcio gets removed from this position, it might be trouble. But in speaking of trouble, Sus gets the kill onto Teebs, bringing down absolute mayhem ensuing with Cash getting Kyle down and out and just absolutely removing him. Hexpers gets the kill on the Sus. Quickly retraded though. Frags galore coming out of here. See if he gets the kill on the Hexpers with the headshot. Plant is going down. 4 seconds left on that, but Calcio will get the blind shot through the smoke with the shotgun. Oh my word. 1v3 situation right now on the variant with 13 seconds left. He drops down on Newbout and is going to get a little bit dicey here as he does actually walk right into the aim of CD's Doc, giving MMC the first round of the map. And we're already up to a stronger start than we did on the last map.
Powering off.
Yeah, North Carolina just keeping that momentum rolling from Villa. Just gonna keep it going. Yeah, North Carolina won the last round on Villa, but you know what? We're gonna come out strong on this map. Actually, Villa was
Powering on.
Monday Morning's pick, wasn't it?
Charging battery. Mic off.
I don't even know if we know who picked what. But if it was, we got the rare case of the other team taking the other team's map. And if so, Monday Morning is going to be trying to do the same. But regardless, a really strong start. It doesn't really say much, considering that is the primary site for Cafe. It has generally a really high defensive win rate. It's not usually lost on defense. It has been done before, obviously. But Monday Morning, rather, is going to be going all the way downstairs now to kitchen, service and cooking. Of course, the secondary site running a pretty much the same ops. Instead of the cave, they're going to be bringing a bandit as well as a mute as well, just to try to get some sort of denial. Kitchen is one of those rare sites where you
Attackers
could
need to
almost
locate
get
and
away
defuse
with
bombs.
fully turtling as long as you have a few nitros, which looking at Monday Morning's loadout, 1, 2, 3, 4 nitros, they definitely have a few. You could pretty much get away with turtling and just chucking nitros above you as they breach the soft floor. Not necessarily the most reliable strat, but hey, if it works, it works.
And one thing I'm kind of sad I'm not seeing is the Castle. Castle is one of those operators where I love to see him on Kitchen. And as someone who's always been playing Castle on this side, I believe he is a really strong operator to take, because you just cut off so many ways to get into sight, and so many hit points are created with those cascades. Where I kind of wish he was played more, but especially with the addition of the Super Shorty is a strong shotgun.
Attackers'
But
objective is to locate a
just
bomb and defuse it.
absolutely a strong lineup nonetheless coming out for the side of Monday Morning. Not to say that the Castle is just absolutely breaking the back, but we will see a little bit of an early start here, actually, with the swap up with Gridlock coming in here. Gridlock is a new operator we have not seen yet for this match, and I'm very, very excited to see how it works out, because a lot of the times you take the Gridlock for that ghost plant, cut off the avenues where you either have to shoot the track stingers, or you have to walk through them, which the latter I don't advise at all, as they actually do a load of damage per tick. So definitely great information gatherer, and also slung the person down, but Klimps gets a filthy shot on the Teebs up on Skyline. I don't think Teebs was expecting that, but Variant just removing Klimps right back at him, saying, "No, you, reverse card." Just bringing him down, evening it back up. Those are the two strongest fraggers taken down for this, and now it's all the remaining 4 on each side. Just see where things go, but it might be Gridlock going down next here, as Kashta was getting very, very dangerously close to actually looking at Variant in the eyes, but nothing will come of it. And Klimps even saying he got a little lucky there. Definitely luck is definitely part of Siege. I think we all can attest to having those lucky flick moments. And we'll get Just absolutely one of those good night moments, but definitely don't want to say good night yet. Ooh, it's getting... Oh no, he hit the beam.
Oh, Kashta, no. Kashta got completely and utterly misdrone. Kashta sat in the corner. The drone went right in front of him. Speaking of lucky, and went away, and Kashta just blew it. His variant sits him right down. I don't know if he was spotted on the drone. He very well could have. But regardless, Variant punishing him nonetheless. Actually turning the favor into North Carolina now. As I say that, a Nitro comes out and downs Yeti. But the players cannot see points. They don't actually know that he was downed. I'm sure he does now. His coach can probably hear the revive sounds going off. But they're on the reinforced hatch. There's nothing he can do from under it. But Yeti, of course, can do something with that reinforced hatch. He uses his exothermic charge to open that up. He still has one in his pocket for either bakery or freezer wall, whichever one he decides to open up. Some nice eyes from, that was Kyle, right? It had to be Kyle. Seeing that black eye, yeah, not even using the IQ scanner. And the last exothermic charge going on freezer wall. Kyle runs all the way into freezer right off the bat. It's going to be Variant that finds Kelsel, though. Kind of strange. CB with a quick response on the Kyle, though. It's now down to Sus and CB. Yeti, Variant, and the Hexler. They gotta try to get this diffuser down, which Yeti is going to be doing. But the Nitro from Mozzie comes out, isn't gonna quite find anything. Oh, CB trying to make the hero play to deny the diffuser going down, but doesn't quite look in the right direction. And Yeti's gonna get the diffuser down and back off. Now in a 1v3, Sus is gonna have a very, very hard time retaking this. He's going to try to back all the way out, try to flank through small bakery. He's going to find a beautiful headshot through the wall onto Variant. Great read from Sus there, but that doesn't dampen, I guess it dampens the fact here that he still has to clutch. If he finds one, he finds another as well on the Hexpress. Meow just has to go down through Yeti, who is already down and went to 20 HP, but there's 10 seconds left on the clock. He has to get on the diffuser almost right now. He will find Yeti, but there's not enough time to defuse.
Defenders have
So
eyes on the
close
diffuser.
from
Attackers
Sus,
need to protect
so close from Monday morning, just not quite with
attackers win.
For sure, and it was getting very, very sketchy there towards the end. As after all the work that Variant put in that round, it almost got out of their hands there, with actually all of their players dying in the end, but thankfully not enough time to actually finish it out. Otherwise, that would have been an absurd clutch from Sus getting down there for it, as he got a triple kill to bring it back there. And with that, though, we will be tying it up for this map here. And Sus hitting him with the 4-1 scoreline right now. Great start to this map for Morning Map. Reset.
Did you say morning match?
I don't know, dude. I'm tripping.
Bonza, you know it's 10:48 p.m.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I do. And it feels I feel every single minute of it.
I got my coffee. I usually only drink coffee in the morning. But I sat down. I said I got a best of 3 ahead of me. Okay, last night, our map 1 went 7-8, all 15 rounds. Luckily, map 2 didn't do the same, so we didn't get to see a map 3. But now that Monday morning's here in the fight, giving North Carolina a run for their money, I'm glad I have my coffee, because we very well could be going to a map 3 here. On Monday morning, only losing map 1 by 2 rounds. They put a round on the board already. That's already as much as they did for the first half of last map. So they're already on track to doing better. But can they keep it up is the real question. North Carolina, once they get some rounds put together, they seem to just be unstoppable on the defense, but they are on attack now. So Monday morning kind of has the upper hand, considering Cafe is quite the defender-sided map. But Teebs just fragging his absolute mind last map. He may have fragged a bit too hard, as I don't think he's showed up all too great. This is only still round 2. There's plenty of time for him to show up, but he's not quite there just yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Twitch chat right now, and there's a follow seller in the chat.
Oh, we need to get some of those things.
I had to mute myself because I was about to laugh really hard.
We have to hit Kelvix up and ask if he can buy some followers.
Do I want to become famous? Hells yes.
Of course. Let's go.
Let's go. But
yeah, Twitch chat's gonna be what keeps us going tonight, basically.
Yeah. The thing is, I wouldn't expect myself to be tired, because my dad came home today and he had chocolate-covered espresso beans. He's like,
Sound
he's
delicious.
like, "Do you want some?" I'm like, I mean, coffee gives me migraines, but why the hell not?
Let's do it. Nah, I love coffee. Gets me through the day. When I'm at college, I need energy drinks, just a little bit stronger.
I
but
subsist off of energy drinks and green tea.
Yeah.
That's my side. Like,
not a-
in
not a
college,
good look.
I went through energy drinks. But speaking of going through things, Variant dropping a bullet
Nice.
through the head of Klimps, taking him out, and Klimps needs to stop dying so early. He's been the first to die for the past 2 rounds now, and it's just not looking good for him. Just awkwardness, but Variant popping in here, just sitting kids down with absolute no regard for those around him. And as Gridlock, it's a feel-good situation, as Gridlock's classified by many as a support operator, so you got the support player cracking. You're ready to go, bro.
Oh, her assault rifle is. I heard it's really good. I don't play Gridlock, but I heard her assault rifle is actually a really good gun, probably one of the better ones.
Oh no.
But yeah, sus. Oh no, he was trying to pick it up just as someone walked over it. He's probably just listening for anyone through the floor, and yeah, just offering no intel at all. I was gonna try to find someone. They almost found Yeti on the thermite last round, but not quite that lucky this round. Yeti knows what they're up to. He's gonna be able to open up that dining hatch and get away without being downed, which is always a good thing. Monday morning, though, all 5 left on site. All 3 left on site is Hexpress finds Sus. Kelso quick with the response with a nitro through the freshly breached wall. The thermite runs in, Kelso's gonna light him up, but not quite finish him. Variant pushing in through Prep is gonna find one, but CB sits him down. Kelso holding the breach with Yeti. And it's not on just a Hexpress. The push in through the breach will be down, and CB has one more to go through. And Teebs doesn't have the diffuser. Oh no. And
Operators, you are out
just
of
coming
time.
down to the last few seconds is the Titans clash. And Monday morning, Props being able to hold that out, even being down a man.
Yeah, and it really just came to a head there towards the end when it got to the 1v1 situation, but honestly, Calcel popping off there. You got the nitro kill and a quick kill to actually bring it back into a quick situation where it was winnable, and just defenders with Monday morning just absolutely putting on some strong defenses here, and it's definitely going to help them later on here as they're looking to go to map 3, and at the rate we're going, it's looking like there will be.
Yeah, but anyways, winning Kitchen their second time around means that now Bar is back opened for Monday morning to go back to. They won this first go around on round 1. Now they're just going to try to repeat it. They don't need a perfect site rotation. They already lost Kitchen once, but they won it back. So,
Defenders,
hey,
protect
it
your
makes up
bombs
for
from
it,
being
right?
defused by attackers.
The dot from CB though, no, we didn't see the dot because they ran a Mozzie the first round. So dot coming out, I'm kind of surprised we didn't see him earlier. A lot of people regard this top floor site as an ACOG site, or a site where you just run ACOGs on, because there's just so many long angles from Cocktail into Cigar Shop, from Freezer all the way under Green Hatch. There's just so many long angles, even Whitehall or Piano. There's ample amounts of long angles wherever you look. You're not going to be at a disadvantage for the ACOG. It's only going to level the playing field. But anyways, Kosh having a little bit of trouble with his black eyes. Gonna say, yeah, that's good enough. That's
Attackers
good.
must
I'm
locate
sure
and
it's
defuse
pretty
the
hard to
bomb.
get it up under the lamp, but gonna have to hustle a little bit with the setup as the attack is now on the board. Gonna be trying to push the building here. Again, bringing that gridlock is always a good thing. Her tracks being able to cut down any rotations as well as the smokes in her back pocket to try to cover plants if need be. Hexper's on the sledge, going to be able to open up any soft breach that needs to be opened. But in terms of the round so far, nothing super crazy. No spawn peaks, no runouts, which kind of surprised. Cafe is a great map to keep a run out on just because there's so many pieces to do it from. You can almost always do it and get away with it without being punished.
I really want to know what physics interaction is the cause of that explosion that is the result of the sledgehammer hitting those hatches.
It's got to be some hydraulics. Like, it's not just a regular sledgehammer, right?
It has
It's
to
gotta
be like Reinhardt's
or stuff.
massive hammer, like the rocket-propelled one.
So some thrusters on the back of that. But speaking of thrusted. Clem's just thrusted Kyle right off the. Yeah, I thought I'd go with it, but Kyle finds.
No.
Kyle finds a beautiful bullet in his head from Klimt. And Klimt's trying to find some more from below. I don't know if those holes were pre-placed or not, but if they were, beautiful pre-placement, and if not, beautiful map knowledge from Klimt. Because there were like 3 attackers right there. Unfortunately, though, didn't hit a single one of them, either be the metal bars or just not quite where he was shooting. All the attackers will be unscathed. Well, all the attackers that are still alive. Hexper's here trying to cook a nade to try to bounce it in the bathroom. It's just going to get zapped by the ADS, as I'm assuming the bathroom wall is muted and the freezer wall is electrified. So, as a compromise, Yeti is going to be opening up that garbage wall, which is a good wall to have open, but it's not the best. But Hexper's just throwing a second nade in. Apparently the ADS had already eaten a charge before. We'll find Council off the board. A beautiful nade banked off the door frame there. Susto holding top white will be Hexper's next obstacle he's going to have to fight through. He's going to be picking it. But, oh my gosh, Hexper's pushing in through back and we'll almost find Doc. I don't know how Doc didn't die there. Maybe he was boosted. But anyways, he's going to heal up. And Yeti's going to be trying to go for the defuse here. UNC looking like they have enough map control here. Sus swings white and will find Hexper's. The variant's quick in response. We'll find Glimpse. Sus pushing up all the way white will find Yeti as well. Only 2 attackers left. Teebs and Variant, 2 very pertinent fraggers from North Carolina. The Variant's on Skylight. You're most likely not going to win that fight. If Sus doesn't win his fight with Teebs, he's going to be dropped in the piano. Kasha coming up from the flank from red. He's going to pre-fire the wrong spot, but will finally pre-fire Teebs' head. Not onto a 1v2 Variant versus CB and Kashta. Kashta going for the counter defuse. And Doc trying to cover. But it's Skylight. There's not much you can do. CB, though, with a beautiful pre-fire there. Actually, Valkyrie sitting tucked in the corner in piano. Beautiful use of that opened wall from the attack. Still exposed, but not as exposed as she would be sitting right on the defuse. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful retake and cover from Monday morning.
For sure, and I honestly don't know why Variant peeked there at the very end. Like, granted, like, you have to peek the diffuser, but I don't know why he peeked from the same angle. Like, that's gonna get pre-fired every single time. But poor Yeti out here.
He had to try something.
0-4 on Yeti. Pulling the donut.
Oh, he's the thermite, okay?
I mean,
I gotta stick
Fragmite
up
is
for
very
all
much
my
a thing.
thermite mains. There is such things as fragmite, but that honor is only bestowed on a very select few. Me. No, I'm totally kidding. Thermite. I thought he was great. I thought he was a great operator. And then I started playing operators that had actual guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guns that shoot faster than like a bullet a minute. And I'm like, oh yeah, Thermite's really not the best. You could do some work with his gun, but it's really not the best for fragging. And Yeti, most of the time, has been opening what he needs to. He's been droning his teammates in where he needs to, and he's been getting the diffuser down. Yeah, he might get fragged after that, but he's doing so much else. Like, yeah, Siege is a very frag-heavy game. It is pretty dependent on the frags, but there's also so much more behind the scenes. Don't make fun of Yeti.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not. When I played collegiately, my KD was trash. I was the guy who was playing smoke every time, just sitting on site waiting.
Yeah, it's always a Thermite's responsibility to have a negative KD. He just takes one for the team. But I bet you if you ask anyone on North Carolina, they would say Yeti's doing loads of work in the background. Anyways, though, getting on to Reading Library, a tertiary site this Monday morning has won their past 2 sites, bar and kitchen, so now they have to go to a tertiary site. Most teams opting reading instead of engine room because reading tends to be a bit better, and just in terms of statistics. But Monday morning agreeing with this, going to be bringing the Womai and the Jaeger though. Combination which we haven't seen very often. I really haven't seen it once or twice this matchup before, but just a lot of utility wasting coming out could be huge. Plus a couple of frags on the attacking team, could be some discs on the ceiling that could catch a few of those and kill the attackers. You know, you always gotta hope for those very, you know, select chance crazy things to happen.
For sure. Definitely select crazy things. Definitely a good way to be calling some of these. especially with stuff like those skylight shots coming out here. Skylight is a death trap right now, this game. Like, everyone seems to be dying over by skylight. But one thing that you do need to note here is that there is a very, very aggressive position being taken up by Kyle here. He is playing IQ, and he's deciding to go essentially into the belly of the beast, but the Wamai will eat that frag grenade from Hexpers, is making sure that goes nowhere near the rest of his team. And Teep's hanging out here on Sophia. They're looking to get that push going into Cocktail, and it might happen very, very quickly here, as actually IQ gets taken down by Kashta. Kashta deposits one in the head of Kyle, quickly followed by Klimps taking down one. Kashta, another double kill for him. It's all going downhill for UNCC right now, with Yeti and Teams being the only people up, but quickly, right as I say that, Yeti gets dropped like a sack of potatoes. Teeb's the lone man for UNCC left here, and it's looking really, really awkward as he takes almost exactly, might actually be exactly half his HP there. And he has to worry about someone coming up red stairs now. But little does he know, someone's actually pushing up right now. And Klimps, he's going to push up. Oh, the timing just barely misses him. But he's going to keep pushing, and he definitely has to know that they're down there. And Sophia will actually see him, but Klimps? Just hitting the rail more than anything there. Just absolutely goes down. And it's going to be a 1v4 right now, but spam to the wall gets very close to Teebs. Teebs is making his way very, very calmly out here. It's all up to him to see if he can bring his team back into this 2v3 scoreline, but it's not looking good right now as 20 seconds remain on the clock. He's looking up at the hatch, maybe thinking that someone may be upstairs still, which is very, very possible, as there are 4 members of this Monday morning team on there. And yep, right as I say that, Mute's upstairs with the Nitro. He's looking for it, but he will get down and finish off by Calsail on the Wamai, bringing it to a 4-1 lead for Monday Morning Chapel.
Yeah, just Monday morning, just really stepping it up. They look like a completely different team than what we saw on Villa. Just kind of sweeping through North Carolina here. Almost a completely opposite scoreline from Villa at a 4-1. 2 more rounds, and Monday morning is at the same exact scoreline North Carolina had them in at the just past the first half of Villa. But regardless, that's a perfect site rotation completed for Monday morning. So now they have Kitchen open back up. They're going to be going back to Kitchen. They did lose Kitchen once already to North Carolina. That's where North Carolina's 1 round so far has come from. So they won it after that. So now it's just whether or not they can keep those changes that they applied earlier to keep North Carolina out of the site. North Carolina has come very close to taking Kitchen both times. They did it the first time. The second time, unfortunately, they were shut down by Monday morning. But they've gotten into sight every single round. Just getting very, very close. It just comes down to Monday morning either fragging out or getting fragged. But regardless, looking like a pretty similar setup, bringing not only the Bandit and the Mute, but the Cave as well. Just the absolute loads of denial. I don't think any wall's going to be able to get open. I don't think there's going to be able to any drones to get into sight. They're just really going to be locking Kitchen down here. Kasha on the second floor throwing some belt cams out may indicate a top floor roam. Thinking about it, maybe not, maybe just be sitting second floor. But usually Monday morning has at least 1 person on the roam here, so most likely going to be Klimps.
Yes, check for a frost mat outside.
Yeah, you always have to. It's a good habit to get into.
It is habit, but I just saw him flick out. I'm like, I don't know what he's looking for, but if there's a frost mat that far outside at the start of the round, I think we gotta go ask some questions. But,
New rank strat? Huh?
New rank strat. Bypassing the run-out fence and pre-prep phase. Oh, man. Klimps nearly takes down Hexper's there, and just almost equal trade of HP, a little bit more into the favor of Hexper's, dropping off a little bit more onto Klimps, but in the long run, I don't think it'll mean too much, as there's still both 2 shots if you're not shooting in the head off of anybody on the gun. Excuse me. They're at the very least 2 shots off that on both of them, so while it is damage, I don't know if it's meaningful damage. but that remains to be seen to see how it goes down, as once you get caught out once, you could either be dropped very, very slowly or very, very quickly. And right as we say that, Kyle on the IQ will actually see I believe he sees a bout pin on the corner of that pillar, but will begin running for his team to see if there's anybody in coat. We'll jump in. Track stingers all over them.
Did he just miss drone Klimps and coat right there in
Oh
main
no,
entrance?
I think he did. No, there's
Totally
another
did. He droned right by him. Another drone missed drone. Oh no.
no.
If Kyle decides to walk through here, Klimps is gonna sit him down, but he doesn't. That's so unfortunate for Klimps. Gets misdroned twice, but they still don't know he's there. He could still come up with a massive play here, as there's 3 attackers on the bottom of white.
Here's one.
No Thatcher on the board isn't a problem. They open above Freezer wall and chuck a nade over the top to clear any denial on that wall. And Clint, still behind the attack here, will finally find Yeti and swing on the IQ. Just the misdroning from earlier in the round being absolutely punished. Team's finally trading him out. But Clint's got 2. 2 for 1. That's a great deal.
Yeah, and Hexmer's evening it out for his team here, with Cash getting taken down by him. And, well, the wall is no longer an option here, as the thermite charge is on the wall, but thermite is very much dead. It is a 3v3 scenario here with 20 seconds left on the clock, and they can only really go through one way, and Calcel is waiting
15 seconds
with
remaining.
the shotgun to absolutely blow them in the next week upon entering, and it could be the first of the sacrifice, and it is, with Calcel taking down Hexmer's first of his name, and quickly keeps getting killed onto Calcel. Sus taken down very quickly thereafter, with Variant taking him down, and Monday Morning Chapel takes down for time, but it was...
once again.
Oh man.
Gosh, that was really close. Again, North Carolina just not being super great with their time management. You could see it on Villa, but mostly on Cafe here, is most of their rounds they're losing because of time. They're just barely losing time. They get into sight perfectly, but they can't get the diffuser down quite yet. I believe that was teams with diffuser in hand, pulled it out, but you have to be on the ground typing on the keyboard in order to stop the clock at 0, and unfortunately he was not quite there yet. But 5-1 on the half for Monday morning. What a turnaround.
Yeah. This
After
is clinical.
This is an actual comeback here. Well, it would have been a comeback if they won map 1 and then won this one. But you know, we won't talk about it. At this scoreline, I'm not gonna say anything this early, because Monday morning being at 6-1 or 1-6 rather on the last map did bring it back very close. So it's just down to North Carolina looking to see if they can do the same. It seems to be that both of these teams are exceptional on defense, and their attacks leave something to kind of desire. Most of the rounds being won are from the defensive side. In saying so, North Carolina might not be in that bad of a shape here if they can start stringing some rounds together.
And it's looking, it could be a similar situation to what we had on the first map, as it was looking very, very good, because we're almost at the point where it's the exact same situation as last map, where one team goes up 6-1, the round swaps, and then it's just downhill from there.
Attackers are moving
But
to defuse the bomb.
right now, it's really, the onus is on UNCC here to put something together here, and they're picking very aggressively into this with the picks of Doc, Jaeger, and Valkyrie. So they only have 2 really hard anchors here, and Yeti and Kyle on the Mute and Wamai respectively, but it is definitely a very, very anti-gadget defense set up here, as we have Jaeger and Wamai, and that is just so much gadget projectile denial. Like, if you can somehow manage to whittle a grenade of some kind through, then maybe, but it's going to be very, very dependent on how many ops they can pick off early here, as it's going to come down to a sheer numbers game at the very end here, I believe.
I honestly have no idea where this map is going to go. After we saw Villa, I probably would have said North Carolina. I was just going to take it and then clean sweep them again on Cafe, but we have almost the exact opposite here, as Monday morning are trying to figure out how they're going to try to take this site, bringing the Monty, which we haven't seen North Carolina bring on this map anyways. Kind of an interesting pick. Monty's just such a great operator for just pushing through a lot of defenses and just not really worrying about it. There's very few things that a Monty really has to worry about. Klim's on the rappel here, looking to try to get the mute jammer off of that red wall. And it is placed in the corner, so I don't believe Klim will be able to take it
Attackers
off.
have located a bomb.
But saying so, Suskin just places exothermic charge on the opposite end of the wall and get it opened regardless. Hexper's here on the Velk underneath. Has at least one Velk cam outside. I wouldn't be surprised if he even had another outside. Just trying to get some sort of intel for this run out. But Monday morning isn't going to be giving him a single shred of anything as they just dropped hatches. They're not going to be repelling longer than they need to on those windows because they're just so exposed. It's going to be Klims, of course, who pushes in towards Cigar Shop first. Going to try to impact the evil eye that's... No, not an evil eye. That's a bulletproof. It's got to be a bulletproof. The bulletproof in piano, yeah, it is. I said that and I looked, yeah, there's no Maestro, there's no days. Evil Eyes, but Hexper is punishing Kashta from the second floor, actually. First opening pick going to North Carolina. That's looking good for them. That's all the frag grenades off the board for Monday morning. And Sophia already used both of her impacts, so not looking too great. There is only one bulletproof, so they really shouldn't need much more utility.
Klims, Variant's not paying any attention there. Gets taken out by Klims with Kyle quickly fragging as well onto Klims. Claymore of Calcil takes down Hexpers. The little red lines were not noticed, and yet he gets the default Nitro Honda Sus over on Nubalk. And it's just falling apart for Monday morning here with a 1v3 situation all up to Calcil now. And he might get taken down very, very quickly here right as he looks away, the unfortunate timing. And that will be a second round for UNC Charlotte.
Actually, some beautiful coordination coming out from North Carolina there. They had a pretty good feeling that IQ was in piano. So all three of the defenders, instead of just pushing in one by one, you saw the Jaeger sit in that pixel corner there for a good 10 seconds while the rest of his teammates got into position. The two defenders from Bar stood up at the same time, and Jaeger swung at the same time, leading to a three people picking one person. Those numbers don't look very good for the IQ, who was holding just some beautiful team coordination coming out from North Carolina there, making sure not to throw away their advantage, the 3v1, and playing it smart instead. Definitely paid off for them. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the 6-1 scoreline that we saw last map. But Monday morning is still significantly closer to that win than North Carolina. And now North Carolina cannot go bar cocktail again. They're going to have to go all the way downstairs.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I also just want to take a quick moment and talk about the state of the scoreboard for Monday morning here real quick. You got CB with a scoreline of 6-1 and 2 at the bottom of the scoreboard.
Wait, huh?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm dead serious.
We got 3 6s on the side of Monday morning.
Yeah, it's number of the beast, and honestly, they're beasting right now. It's absolutely filthy coming out of some of these guys right now with Klims, although dropping awkwardly in some of the rounds, he is still putting in work, and it's really showing the scoreline right here. But they still need 2 rounds here to actually close out the map and bring it to map 3, which for those of you who weren't here earlier in the broadcast, that is going to be Coastline should it be necessitated. And but
he's on Coastline.
Yeah.
Coastline is just a frag map. If we get to Coastline, it's gonna be a heck of a match here. The 2 teams just frag there.
Filthy.
But anyways, we're gonna have to get through Cafe first. Could be 2 rounds away from Monday morning winning it all, but of course North Carolina is going to be trying to prevent that. Looking like just a complete bakery take from Monday morning. Gonna be completely ignoring the top floor. And North Carolina holding this quite differently than Monday morning did. Instead of having 4 people on site and 1 roamer, it looks like they have 2 on site, another one on first floor, and 2 defenders up above. Yeah, holding vertical holes from above. And if you're Monday morning, you're really gonna probably need to take above to get these defenders out of there. But Klims, unfortunately, peeking into prep is going to be lit very, very low by Hexpers, but luckily not taken out just yet. Capital with lots of utility is definitely vital, but Varian will be finishing off, taking him off the board. Flashes and nades going through the holes. Nitro's coming out the other way. Nothing hits at all. Yeti gets a little bit of damage.
I guarantee you when that Nitro flew out, Sus had some words to say in comms. Like, that Nitro just came tomahawking out of that hole and almost killed both of them. But they look at the wall open in the end here with a minute 25, so great pacing here. Monty is looking forward to seeing if he can see anybody inside here, but I don't know if he can actually get in maybe, or if he's just not going too far in to make sure he doesn't get shot from the side, which is a very good idea, as there is very hanging out coats right now. And he could very easily play spoiler to this Monday morning chapel roster here as he does start to push out. He will actually see one takes down Asta. Unfortunate drop for double kill for him. Can he string more together? And he is getting he's getting the chance to gets taken very low, but does not take down his trait. Enemy combatant, but once you get shot back here, Sus drops one CP a second. Yeti already down. Monty decides to throw a plant right here. Oh no, Legion is just shooting him underneath the shield. Kyle takes him down. 3v2 situation right now, and it's looking very dire right now. But as I say that, Teebs goes for one, and Kyle a second. Takes down the remaining side of Monday Morning Chapel, and just bringing it up here as they were on a run back now. Are we going to see a repeat of map 1?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Monday morning, come on. Bringing that so close. They were at a disadvantage. They brought it back to an even man count. And then Monty just pushed too far into sight and was planting without much cover. Legion could literally sit there and find his weak point, take his time, and then kill him. But just both of these teams looking very even on the fragging side. You know, no more Teebs this game. You know, double digits, just fragging their minds out. More spread between the teams, and that's what we like to see. A bit more even. The games tend to be a bit closer, and it just makes it more exciting. But North Carolina winning both of their defensive rounds so far. Going to be going to a tertiary site though now. Going to Reading Fireplace. Yeti 6ing off the smoke to the pulse. Definitely a very strong operator to have on the second floor site. Just because normally the attack has to take top floor, and with soft ceilings above the pulse, with a cardiac sensor and a nitro, it just does not equal a good time whatsoever. But in saying so, I'm assuming the defense is going to be holding up top as well. Stop to the ACOG and the bulletproof camera leads to a pretty good setup up top, as well as the mute to deny some sort of droning. Monday morning is going to have to try to pick this strat apart. As long as North Carolina sets up correctly, this should be a pretty strong hold they have here.
Yeah. One would hope that this strong hold, just like based off the operators alone, as you were saying, it should be a strong hold. It remains to be seen as
5 seconds left.
It's been very up in the air. Like a lot of the team comps we've been seeing is like, oh, this will be a strong one, but then the exact opposite happens and they just get run over. But it remains to be seen that how much that Pulse is going to come into play here. If Pulse can get a boatload of information for his team and actually show him where the attackers are coming from, and even maybe get a nitro kill or two, it could mean great things for this comeback here. But it's looking a little. It all comes down to this Pulse, I think, because this is the swap up. This is the change that they're making, and so far the changes they've been making have been working. So let's see if they can continue it.
Yeah, so it's just the Pulse Yeti on the Pulse is gonna have to keep at least, well, I guess an ear out for CB, but I mean CB's gadget really doesn't make all that much noise to begin with. As Klims is already taking quite a bit of map control up top here, taking into Piano as a drone ahead of him in towards Pixel, just making sure it's clear. Klims pushes aggressively here. I don't know if the defense is going to be ready for it. He opens up freezer wall as well. He's trying to push up little by little. He sees the wall across him, and it's going to be fully reinforced, meaning that he can push in there without really having to worry. Although I believe that's Teebs on the Jaeger pushing up white stairs to try to aid his defenders, holding up top. Have to try, just to try to pull something out. Clint spotting out those goo mines quite easily, so they don't blend in very well on the floor. And CB keeping an eye out for Pulse below, as an IQ should. But no frags, no damage being done just yet. Of course, as I say something, Klims finds the head of Variant. That's the Doc gone. No more ACOG on the board for North Carolina. And Sus is going to be trying to open up that freezer wall. he will move out of the way of the Nitro quick enough, but the Nitro will find the exothermic charge. And now he has to either use his second EMP charge, or exothermic charge on that wall, or save it for later. And it sounds like he's going to be using it once again, meaning he's not going to have any exothermic charges left. But they do have the man advantage, so it's not something to be too worried about. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen any Jackal tracks go out yet, because Kelsel's on the Jackal.
Yeah, I guess he just hasn't scanned any yet, because hasn't maybe seen any yet, which would be kind of weird because there's a lot of people upstairs at any given point, so kind of curious to see how it's going to go in, but as of now, as it stands, only variant is down for the UNC Charlotte side, which may change very, very soon. Actually, he has scanned. He had 2 to begin with. Now on 1. Yeah. We'll find out the mute. Plant goes down from Sun. CB gets the kill on the Yeti. This is when things start going explosively. And speaking of explosively, Hexburst gets the kill on the Sauce with the Nitro, stopping the Plant. Plant is no longer... Oh, Plant did go down. My bad. I'm a filthy liar. Cash gets the kill on the Hexburst. We're going to trade him out, paying him back for the kill onto his teammate. And we will be in a 2v scratch that 1v4 situation now. All up to Teebs now. Can Teebs bring it together for his team right now? Seems to be content just to step on essentially glass as he takes about 27, 28 HP from the track stingers. 13 seconds left to defuse. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe Kep had the KDA. Can't even do that. Instead makes it just a little bit worse. That'll be another round in the column for Monday Morning Chapel. I'm going to get the name right eventually.
You know, I said that was such a strong defense from North Carolina. And it was. Don't get me wrong. But Monday Morning picked that apart. Like, they just shredded it apart like it was a piece of paper. That was an absolutely beautiful, absolutely textbook take from Monday Morning. You take up top, you drone it out, you push a bit aggressively, but you take up top, you clear the defenders up top, you drop some gridlock tracks on the stairs, you reconstruct the ceiling, drop pillars, open up reading door, get the plant down. And once the plant's down, the defenders have to retake up top, and that's such a pain to do with tracks covering the entire stairs, as we saw both the Jaeger and the Legion having trouble getting up there. And it was just a beautiful textbook take from Monday Morning.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
That's all I have to say about that. But it was a tertiary site for North Carolina, so they're going back up to Bar Cocktail. So now, Reading is the only site they've lost on defense so far, and they won both Bar and Kitchen by quite a large margin, I'd say, last round. So now it just comes down to whether or not Monday Morning can take those textbook takes, those clean attacks, and apply those to these sites. Because if they can, this game will be over. Monday Morning is 1 round away from taking Cafe.
To be quite frank with you, I think last round, if that diffuser doesn't go down, that's a completely different round.
Attacker's objective is to
Because the
locate a
diffuser's
bomb
stuck in sight, and the onus is then on Monday Morning to actually get the diffuser back and start working away, planting again, but just barely gets the plant down before the Nitro comes and kills him. And that kind of secured the round, as after that it was just kind of frag cleanup duty. And that's exactly what happened. And that'll be on map now with Monday Morning with double the score of UNC Charlotte right now. And what do you think UNC Charlotte needs to do to actually get these rounds? They had it going for a little bit, but I don't know what, like, the magic is lost, maybe.
I don't know, they just need to get that momentum going again, and Monday Morning just isn't letting them get that momentum going. They just won 2 rounds, and Monday Morning says, yeah, no, we're going to take this next one away from you. I think Monday Morning's doing a very good job at keeping the momentum in their favor. But Sus going to be trying to open up that reading wall. Yeah, the beat jammer from the other side of the red door is what's actually going to stop it. Monty takes that out. There is still a beat jammer in the corner, but of course, I need to push past that now. Monday Morning just getting a new sense of urgency in their step. All these takes have been quite aggressive, quite quick, straight from the start, but not sloppy. They have the drones, well, in this case, Monty. But still, they have the drones ahead of them. They're pushing in. They're taking a lot of ground very quickly. So now they're next to site, and they have some time to think, hey, what do we want to do? Let's run it out, check it out, and see what we want to do. Right now, we're just going to shoot Variant a little bit, do a little bit of damage, but he's just going to heal up anyways. we're instead going to get freezer wall open. Sus gets the wall open, and now that there's so many sight lines the defense has to worry about, and yeah, one of those being for Variant is Kashta finds the head drop, and again, that's the ACOG gone. So now in these long range engagements, you're going to be at quite the disadvantage if you're UNC. Plus, you still have a Monty to worry about. Teebs and Kyle, though, trying to even the odds as they find Kashta and Glimpse here, taking it off the board, turning the odds into their favor instead. It's not on two Teebs, who is fighting this Monty here, CB. Just going to be toying with him a little bit, dropping, extending the shield, having IQ push up a little bit behind him. The smoke's going to be dropped to give some sort of cover. And Monty pushing all the way up is going to down Teebs and finish him off, but Kyle finds Kel, so that's the IQ going. It's not down to Thermite and Monty. Scratch that. Just Monty as Thermite gets down. But don't count Monty out just yet as he finds one, fully extends. And he has to try to take the fight with Valkyrie right now before the other defender gets behind him. He has to try to take her out. She crosses, he'll down her. It's a 1v1 between CB and Yeti. He's going to have to get the diffuser down. Lute's below right now. He's going to have to try to come up red. Monty going for the revive here could be the play, because now it's 1v1. Well, Thermite plants, but Monty has the diffuser. It's down to Thermite to cover, and Thermite's very low HP, but he'll find the head of Yeti, and Monday morning wins Cafe, bringing us to Coastline at 3.
Yeah, that got very, very scary towards the end there. Because I was thinking, what the heck is he doing? Why are you reviving your teammate? You have 5 seconds. Because he almost threw there. If that res took any longer, he could have missed the opportunity to plant there and given a very awkward round back over. But CB 11-3. Good lord. Absolutely.
Monty, you gotta love to see the Monty top frag.
Monty top frag. Good lord. Just absolutely putting on a show on how to play Monty. I honestly couldn't believe he actually brought it back at that last couple kills, because it looked like it was done and over. Like it was just Monty, and then he's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna walk through your team with the pistol."
He played that so well, and it was actually kind of a misplay coming out from North Carolina. The mute being below, I understand you're trying to play for that nitro, but if you're playing for the nitro, wait for the plant to go down. They must have had Velt cams in the first place if they're waiting for the plant to go down. He used his nitro, so now he's no use below, and he has to push up the stairs, giving Monty ample time to revive and start the plant. And that could have gone completely different if Mute found the pick onto Thermite. But it's the time's going down. It's on both teams just bringing it. I'm excited to see Coastline. I would have said North Carolina is going to win it out after map 1, and now I'm not sure. These teams are just so close together. I think as of right now, my money's on North Carolina. They've been chaining rounds together. They're keeping it going. North Carolina looks like they just kind of fizzled out after map 1.
Yeah, and honestly, going into last map, it's going to come down to these gunfights. As we were saying, Coastline is an incredibly frag-heavy map, and there's no support operators. There is no, tanky operators. You're playing to frag. It is one of those maps where you are taking literally every single aggressive operator you can possibly think of and sending it. You are going full send down the halls, looking for this to come out. But right now, we're going to be getting into the map very, very shortly, as we're going to get into map 3, and as we're saying, it's going to be a banger. This is absolutely...
It's gonna be a clash of titans. That's how I would describe it.
Titans, for sure. And I just cannot wait to see what it's going to be.
I mean... I don't know. It's gonna. I hope it's close. If this map is a 7-2 or a 7-1, I'm gonna be really disappointed. After all this hype up, Monday morning just absolutely bringing it back. I'd really be disappointed if we didn't at least get to see overtime. But North Carolina finally just saying, yeah, you know what? We had enough of this Monty. We're taking him off the board right away. Sorry, we don't let the gold too. Oh, yeah.
We don't
the
let the gold
player.
too out of the cage too often.
it's you love to see it, but I mean Monty taking off the board. I don't know how I feel about Monty. He can be a pain to deal with, but you have to have a good Monty player in order to really utilize him. And CB, I would say, is quite the Monty player.
I would agree with that. Give him a little freedom and he runs with it.
Runs right through the defense with it, I'd say.
Yeah. Another Mira ban, not surprising. Mira's kind of in the same vein as Thatcher and Jackal, where it's like, you know what? Not really feeling like I want to play against it today, and the Italian Stallion will be the final ban. Not surprising at all.
Mira is the only operator we've seen banned every single map. Every other operator has been on the board for at least one map. Mira, nope, she's working on some new gadgets.
She's working a little bit of R&D, but nonetheless, we will be getting into the first round here with the defensive side being NCSU, and I am upset because I killed that application. But
Yeah, starting hookah billiards, an Oryx being shown from Yeti, an operator we haven't seen yet, and a Yana from Kelsel. I think Kelsel showed the Yana previously, but sixed off of it as Yeti sixes off the Oryx. Unfortunately, Oryx MP5 angled grip is, I think it's great, but Yeti opting for the smoke, and yeah, of course Kelsel sixing off the Yana. We're not going to be able to see the newest of the operators just yet, or the newest operators that are allowed to be played. Of course, Malusi and Ace are in their quarantine period, so they're not quite allowed just yet. But regardless, getting into this hookah defense here. Again, operators, nothing too crazy in terms of operator pace, nothing to kind of throw a wrench in anything. Monday morning, bringing both the Buck and the Sledge and the Ash, just bringing absolute boatload of soft breach. Oh, it's just, I don't know where they're going to use it. Buck can buck from below. Ash can open a couple walls. Sledge, he's got nades. I think that's why they brought him. That would be my guess.
10 seconds to go.
one thing I think that we need to pay attention to is how
5 seconds to insertion.
Because Columbus is kind of the star of the
Attacker's objective is to defuse the bomb.
The first half of the second map of Cafe, and CE was the one who was kind of going hammies towards the end. So got to keep an eye on those players to see what goes down here. But also keep in mind, Variant and Teebs, they're putting in work too. I don't know. This is going to be a banger of a final map, but put one of these teams into the semifinals here, and I am all for every second of it.
I want this map to go to OT, but I also don't because it's 11:30.
I mean, yes,
but I don't think I'd be mad if it went overtime. Both of these teams really fighting for their spot in the semifinals here. It's really, again, Coastline is just such a frag-heavy map as well. It's just gonna come down to who outguns who. So Teebs, I think North Carolina is gonna need you back here. After map one, just kind of, keeping up the frags a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Please, Kyle, just a little bit of damage. Kyle's just going to rotate back through Kitchen. He has a little bit of the assist in the form of Teebs on bottom white stairs, and they're on the opposite side of the map, so they're just hanging out there, probably going to be waiting for a flank of some sort. Is Kashta, and I believe that was Sus, are kind of pressuring Hookah just a little bit. Yeti using his first Toxic Babe, though, already only about halfway through the round, and Variant being stimped up by Hexpers there, just overstimming, making sure he's full of health. But it's going to be Klims who finds the first pick onto Variant. Unfortunately, that extra health doesn't help when it's a headshot. But a beautiful opening pick from Monday morning. Kyle and Teeb still going to be holding this security. I'm not sure what their plan is here. The attack is already pushing into Aqua.
Oh no!
Oh, CB.
putting down the ball, taking down 2 people, and Yeti somehow getting a kill at the SMG-11. That did not look at all like it was supposed to kill. But yet again, gets another one. Double kill for him. Might get a triple kill here. Ooh, nope. Does not
Very
do
close.
that. Does not get any shots off in time. Kashta will end his reign of terror with the SMG-11. Absolutely. Ooh, nice flick there too to end it. But with that, we're going to start off with round 1 going in the favor of Monday Morning Chapel.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time when Monty players finally get off of Monty, they tend just to frag, right? Monty is limited because he only has a pistol. It's semi-automatic. Semi-automatic is C, and C just is kind of meh. But now CB's got an LMG. He was using the commando. He's a commando user. CB is a commando user. So not the LMG at his disposal, but a full auto assault rifle. And he's been doing work with it. A really nice double. I know that who was that? I think Kyle was the bandit. He was pretty lit. I don't think Teebs was at all though, but still props for CB for finding the quick 2-piece. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough there. But
Attackers need to
no,
locate
it
and
was
defuse
attack
as many
one.
bombs as they can.
It's been a long night.
Oh, it's a Friday, though, so we can sleep in all we want tomorrow.
Of course.
So, I was gonna say Monty is like a suppression mission. It's like the hyperbolic
Bomb
time
located
chamber.
by attackers.
You put a man in it. He has to sit there and wait the entire time. You're like, I'm just gonna sit. Because basically, as Monty, you really only walk in the cardinal directions. That's pretty much all you can do. Otherwise, you're gonna get shot in some fashion in the back.
Attackers have
He
located the
got
bomb.
put in the hyperbolic time chamber and came
10
out a
seconds left.
fragger as he's been putting in that work. Just absolutely putting
seconds
his
to
team
go.
on his back for a couple of these rounds, making sure that they are going to get to that semi-final
Attackers are
round.
moving to defuse the bomb.
It's looking spicy.
I don't know, Bonza. I just ran out of coffee.
Oh, you did? I've been tempted to get green tea for the past hour, but I keep missing my window.
Oh no. I mean, the way Monday Morning came out with this supposed first round, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if this map went pretty quickly. Monday Morning have been pretty much the dominant team ever since the side swap all the way back on Villa, North Carolina, just not really being able to find their groove. Really nice quick peek with Kashta pre-flashing and peeking into the flash before it goes off. I always wanted to learn how to do that. Never quite got around to it. But beautiful display here. Now they have control of Hookah, and Clips can breach the floor there and start opening up above Pink Bar. Pushing down Blue, though, isn't looking like quite a good option as Yeti's sitting on the bottom of it. Shotgun in hand. And the defense is still just trying to hold on to Pink Bar. Well, the attack is just kind of setting up for their push. They're not quite pushing just yet, just opening holes from above, seeing what they can find. But their actual push is probably going to come just a little bit later.
Yeah, so thought I'd have bloody nose real quick, but we are
no.
A-okay and getting
Solo cast time.
Yeah, almost. Look, I've been getting so many bloody noses lately, dude. It's kind of insane. I've had like 3 this week, which is
Oh,
a
no.
high number by anyone's.
Don't leave.
But if I randomly say "oop" and mute myself and run, you'll know.
You mute yourself, I can't hear you run.
No,
But
don't worry.
I'll just imagine the running.
Imagine the Pepe legs, the Pepe run. That is essentially the speed at which I'll be going to try to get
Why I
that
want face-
plotted up.
You just switch the face cams quick and then just run off.
You'll hear
Funny.
the cartoon running in sound as well.
I was gonna try to make that sound, but it wouldn't end well, so I decided against it. But 45 seconds on the clock here, still a 5v5. Only a little damage being done to Clemps. This is looking like a complete standstill.
I don't like
Variant
this.
and Kyle pushing up. There we go. Clemps finally gets an opening pick on Yeti, and CB attempts with almost a nice double as they almost line up, but he finds one. But Hexper is quick on the response with Cash and CB.
Attackers are
CB
activating the
finally
bomb
getting his double on the board, bringing it all the way down to Teebs. Diffuser does get planted, and it's a 1v3. And he's in such a bad spot. Cash from above, gonna take him out. What a beautiful setup from Monday Morning. Very clean round. They took up top very slowly, methodically. Took it very quickly though, and then they just opened up the floor. And drone sight pushed it, and that again textbook takes coming out from Monday.
I'm sorry if that laugh was a little bit of an ear piercer for any one of our viewers, but I could not help laughing about the way Doc died on the window.
He ran into CB's pre-fire, right, while they were shooting Legion.
And he was just lounging, just slumped on the side of the window, just sitting there. And sometimes Siege death ragdolls are the greatest. Just, you either get the one where it's like you stumble into the wall and go ramrod straight and just fall backwards. Sometimes
there's ones where you just drop to your knees and sit perfectly straight on your knees, so you look like you're a crouched player and around because you're shooting at a dead body. Because I love Siege ragdolls.
Or you just get the guy who's sitting in the chair, looking like he's just taking a rest.
I think this is the best.
Henry calling, "Why are you resting?"
Anyways, it's kind of interesting to see North Carolina losing hookah twice in a row now. So I'm thinking, maybe it's not the best to try hookah again. Some people might say third time's the charm, but North Carolina obviously don't believe that's the case. They're instead going to be going bars. The bars, plural site, blue and pink. Kind of interesting. Most people would consider kitchen to be a secondary site. Doesn't mean that it's necessary. It means that the site tends to be better, but maybe North Carolina just feels more confident with double bars, or maybe they just think that Monday morning won't be very efficient at taking it. But wait, no, they told me what double bars last round, didn't they? They had to.
Yeah, they did go to the same place last round, but Council taking down Kyle. Not so Pog now with one to the head, takes him down for this round. He won't be respawning for at least another 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Drone's getting taken down in the human form. Gemini gets taken down. Yeti soon to follow, maybe? Taken down very, very low. Got 24 HP remaining on him, and all 5 people remaining on Monday Morning Chapel here, but they still gotta get inside of the building. ADS is getting burned, and Teebs seems to look like he wants to hard peek this, but one is going into Aqua, so Teebs might be caught out in a very unlucky situation here. As CB starts pushing his way down here, but does pull off in time so that he does not get caught out over by Vase and evening it back out. But a minute 50 left, and everyone seems to just be content to go onto the roof, run around their own business. As most players of UNC Charlotte are actually hanging out downstairs on the first floor. They've kind of seeded the entire second floor, which is perfectly fine. As you can always go for late round flanks later, but Buck is starting to open the ceiling. It's going to get very, very dangerous, very fast to be anywhere on these sites right here. And Teebs, as I was saying, he starts working his way back up, try to get a little bit of a peek in here. Kind of courting death a little bit with how
Bomb located by
many people
attackers.
are up here just on this side of the map alone. But they see a frag come out here. CB starts to work his way over here. He's gets shot through the wall, I believe. About a quarter of his HP gone. He's gonna take up just the same angle, watch the same place. But it's gonna get very, very spicy here in the next couple seconds as the minute mark does tick by, and they are just setting up for the final push. Gemini does get called out. Mute might get blinded anyways, but nonetheless, the push has to come through very soon. And Mute is blinder than a bat, but does smoke, pardon me, does get a little bit of a chip from the Ash charge. The smoke charge will save his life. Oh, no nade. All of the throwables are going around at him, but pre-play smoke will do its work well. 27 seconds now remaining. The smoke charge does go down, delaying it for another 5 seconds. Or 15 seconds, pardon me. So it's gotta go change very quickly. As he does get found out through the pixel by Kashta, but 3v4 now as Variant takes down one of Calso with clips and Kashta quick to follow into Teebs and Expert. And Variant gets the trade onto Sus and quickly traded and ended with Kashta getting the final kill to end the round. That was an interesting little jump ragdoll there, but we will see the third round coming down for Monday Morning Chapel, and off to a very strong start here. Maybe Monday Morning Chapel will be the team that goes on to semis, and it's looking like it right now.
I mean, a 3-0 start on Coastline, and
Wrong.
I mean, it looks like they've practiced this map night and day. Monday morning looking very, very confident on just everything they do. Their takes, their setups, their covers, like it's all looking fantastic. But now it's just whether or not they can keep this going. It's 3 games is quite a long time in Siege, and you can get burned out quite quickly. You get tired, you know. It's a lot to handle, and that's what Monday morning is really trying to fight against right now. They have this momentum going for them. They just came off a map win. They just came out 3-0 on attack on Coastline. They're hyped up. They got they're going with it, but now it's just they can't get fatigued. They're getting so close. They're 4 rounds, almost halfway to winning out Coastline. And yeah, now North Carolina is finally going to be going kitchen. They ran bar twice. They actually ran bar twice. Now that I changed my notes, bar twice didn't work out. So they're going to be going to kitchen, bar. I'll do the same spiel 3 times. They don't think that. They don't think 3 times the charm. 3rd time's the charm. They're going to be trying kitchen instead. And I would say so. Bar, it came very close that last couple rounds. But again, Monday morning just looking absolutely fluent in their takes. It's just going to depend. I think Monday morning taking this site's going to be kind of one and the same. They take up top, get that vertical pressure, drop, get diffuser down. It's a very textbook take, but Monday morning is doing it flawlessly.
Yeah, and it's really getting backwards this year, as a lot of these rounds aren't really getting close, as they're like 3 or 4 people remaining for Monday Morning Chapel with activities for these rounds. And it's a lot of damage being dealt very early on. It's just the side of Monday Morning Chapel is winning these aim duels very, very quickly and efficiently, and very consistently as well. And UNC Charlotte's got to put something up on the board here if they want to even have a chance of coming back. As granted, this is as close as you're going to get to an attacker-sided map in terms of just how ease of access, but Variant gets the first kill onto Kasha, so it's a good start for them so far. Not such a good start, or pardon me, good start. It's late, but UNC Charlotte gets the opening kill. It's going to be a great start for them, but teams might be getting taken down here. Knives? I don't know if he
Must have been a
misclick for sure, but Kyle gets the flank off onto Klimps. Gets taken down. Even better start going here from the side of UNC Charlotte, really putting things down. And it may be another one coming down here very soon. But it does seem like Hookah... Oh, never mind. There is one tucked back in there. It is Teebs tucked back behind Hookah bench. And they are trying... Ooh, he might get taken down here. Does not. Almost gets taken down. Jumps out. Gets a little bit of damage onto Capitao of Calcel, but is now stuck outside. Oh, this is so awkward. He's probably going to die here. Yep. We'll go down to the IQ of CB. A little aggressive there. Probably not the greatest idea, but he could have gotten it. He actually did give a little bit of damage over to Calcel, so if he got a little more accuracy there, he could have taken him down, which would have been worth. But nonetheless, he did not get it, so here we are in a 3v4 scenario, and it's looking like this may be the first round for UNC Charlotte, and quickly compounded with the fact that Variant got another headshot onto CB, putting him down on the ground, making it look even more so. But Sus gets a kill on the Kyle. Might be bringing it back here. This is looking very, very sketchy now. Sus making it look sus for the team, but nonetheless, we are getting down into the lower seconds of the round, and it could be just absolutely the opposite way of what we think is going to be. With 15 seconds, no one is making a move, and there's still a smoke canister left. So he has to make it through here. They are opting for service, and the smoke grenade will go down. Nothing to be found, though. And ooh, almost gets one. But House will take it very low, but we'll go for the plant. Yep, there goes plant, and that will be the round. Triple kill for Variant, bringing his team up to make an appearance on the scoreboard. 1-3 now in favor of Monday Morning.
It's like North Carolina just needed to go kitchen to get that round on the board. But unfortunately for them, now kitchen is locked out. They're going to be going back up to Hookah, which they've only lost once now. They never gave it a second go. And now they're coming off a round win. Maybe they got some momentum going into it. Maybe that's what they need to get this site on locks. But maybe it's a clash as Hexpertus kind of teases the clash. Picks Goyo instead, might instead 6 the clash, not 100% sure. But even if he does, Kelsel is on the opposing side, on the Capital, and Flame Bolts and Clash don't mix very well. And no, it's going to be Kyle instead, who 6s on the Dock, and CB 6ing from the IQ to the Zofia. Definitely a good 6 pick with the Goyo on the board. You want as much utility you can have, whether that be nades or Zofia's impacts or Ash's
Defenders,
breaching
protect your
charges.
bombs from being
Definitely
defused by
a good
attackers.
change because you don't really want to rely on just Ash because there's 2 Vulcans. Yeah, Ash has 2 breaching charges, but Jaeger's on the board too. He's gonna eat some of that utility up, and there's really nothing you can do about it. He's going to. As long as the ADS is placed right, but some nice drone work or some baiting out flashes could easily just counter the ADSs as well. We see the first Vulcan get dropped in Hookah right in front of the doorway, not quite on the doorway, just a little bit behind, showing that that's probably going to be used more for a denial rather than a shield to play off of. And yeah, there's no smoke for North Carolina, so it makes sense that Goyo would be taking this more sort of denial heavy role. Because yeah, we see the second Vulcan on default plant in Billiards as well. So just having those shields ready for them if they need to pop them, if the attack doesn't pop them first. But anyways, Monday morning is going to be trying to take
Bomb
Hookah,
located by
it's
attackers.
looking like, but not a good look. His Hexper's on the promo with a big T in his hands will take glimpse off the board very early on. And yeah, glimpse on the buck. All that soft reach is gone.
Yeah, and just so much pressure and frag power lost with the loss of that buck. But they do still have the Ash, which could give a little bit of that pressure that they lost with the buck still there. Is Ash is obviously, as many people know, one of the most aggressive operators in the game, but we'll actually see the Jaeger hang out inside of Kitchen and may decide to go for it. Decides better of it for now. And we'll begin to focus more on to back to where he started. Okay, I need to stop guessing. Never gonna work. But Teeb.
Attackers have
The
located
thing is,
bombs.
wait, security? And it's just a lot of widespread pressure right now. Not too much action going down, but there is someone inside of Kitchen, and he could start chefing up a little bit of victory here as Kashta is looking. Kashta,
Oh my gosh. Like a step in a direction.
Oh no. Teams is gonna do it. Oh.
No. Oh, that was just oh gosh, it was so close.
Yeah.
Just Teeb's almost knowing, deciding to back away. I'm gonna be pushing up white stairs, but you can hear the chirping of the air jab, so he isn't gonna be able to push up all the way. CB's right there if the air jab does go off to act on that. I'm sure you probably heard Teeb's footsteps a little bit. And Koshta coming behind him from Kitchen will find the pick onto Teebs. We hear the smoke coming out from the Capital, but Expers with a nitro over the wall will kill him.
Attackers have recovered their
And yeah, the attacker's looking to try to go for this default plant. A smoke on the ground isn't going to cover, and Barry just runs up and knifes the planner, and Kyle's got his back, fragging CB, but not before he finds Hexpers, and it's not down just to Koshta here. On the Ash, 3 flashes in the pocket, but smoke canister comes out, reducing vision. Kyle with the ACOG sitting back in base. It's going to clean the round out. North Carolina's second round now.
Yeah, much stronger showing on this defensive side now. UNC Charlotte really putting up the fight there. And I feel there's an obligatory pun to be made about that standoff between Team and Castro there. If Teams went any further into Kitchen, he would have been cooked.
Cooked, all caps, by the way.
All
Yeah,
caps.
I definitely think Ash had that angle on lock. Teebs very well could have found her head, but Ash is very well known for not having a head hitbox.
Yep.
And Teebs would have had to have been moving his crosshair. Cashta probably could have gotten away with just left clicking. But just the 6th sense from Teebs, like, yeah, maybe not the best idea to beat this. Rotates around.
It was the 6th sense telling him it's this ain't it, Chief.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's you always listen to your gut. But anyway, North Carolina, 2 rounds in a row, meaning they're going to their 3rd site, trying to get a perfect site rotation. And if they win this out, we're
Attackers
going to
need
be
to
going into the
locate and
second
defuse
half at a
bombs.
perfect 3-3 split, tying it up. If it gets tied up, oh boy.
Video? There we go.
Oh no, I'm having flashbacks from yesterday, all 15 rounds. Let's see it. But going back to bars, North Carolina have lost this site twice in a row now. And Monday morning, looking like they're absolute professionals taking this site. But North Carolina have been defending against them twice. They could make some changes to try to switch things up. Hexper's trying to find that drone. We're not even going to talk about it, Hexper. We'll move on. Anyways, defending the site, Hexper's still looking for this drone. Isn't quite going to find it. Maybe his teammate got it for him. And the attackers know that Uma is going to be holding inside office with a shield and probably his magnet discs as well. And they're instead just going to rotate up into Aqua, try to take that second floor. Soft breach, drop down and plant like they've done every round before this. But it's down to the few roamers of North Carolina to try to hold them off. Mainly Kyle up here on luggage is going to find the first fight with Zofia and being lit very low. But Kyle finds the head of CB, taking him off the board. Kyle's very low, but there is a Donk on the board. He will be able to get healed right back up as long as he can make his way to Donk, or Donk makes his way to him. Which, yeah, Variant is right there on white status. It's going to give him a little bit of juice.
And that juice will bring him right back up to full, so it's like that entire engagement never happened. And I'm getting a little upset with YouTube right now, as it is just and just absolutely ruining
Attackers have located a bomb.
fun. Regardless, we are going to get into the situation very quickly where we could be getting into an even half, and as you were saying, that could be full 15 just all the way. And it really comes down to just how are these rounds going to shake out, because it's pretty much this. Ooh, Team saw one. Is he gonna spray the wall? Oh no, Team one will spray the wall, but actually shoved back. Climps with the quick clap back onto Teebs, putting him in the ground instead. Where surely he should have died instead, as he had the skeleton key out. It's a trip of a time just watching these two teams go at it. And for whatever reason, we're back in the same situation we were last time we came over the bar, where you have poor old Smoke stuck in the corner. And he's just gotta sit there waiting for him to come towards him. And, ooh, very, very low now. Decides to swap out a little bit, but his leg might be coming through the wall right now.
The beauties are in place!
Talk about hell in a cell. Poor Yeti just trapped in this corner, playing his life basically. 30 seconds on the clock, no smoke canisters left in his pocket. And it's a 4v4. Yeti being very low, almost a 3v4. Eclipse is still playing above. Even if one of those shotgun pellets catch Yeti, he's going to be taken off the board. Some smoke's coming out from Capitan, but they're going to be caught by the Wamai.
15
And
seconds
Kelso
remaining.
gets killed by something.
10 seconds remaining.
No, Kelso killed someone. I think he hit someone with his
5
bolt
seconds
and killed
left.
him.
Attackers have
But
dropped the
a
bomb
quick
diffuser.
exchange here. Kyle finds two, Clips finds one. Diffuser's not going to be going down, and the attackers just frag out, and they do it again, coming down to the last second. Monday morning wins that round out just by fragging out. They don't even try to plant. What mad lads. I'm pretty sure Capital hit someone with his bolt. He hit the smoke and killed him with his bolt. Because if it was the firebolt, it actually would have showed the Capital crossbow. But if the bolt just hit him, it would have showed the skull. So it was either that or he hit someone with his flashes. What a mad lad.
And just really, like, that round was a perfect example of you can't really count anyone out until the round ends. It looked like UNCC was gonna put something together there, and then just Monday morning just coming and says, nope, just all round, you can't have it.
Yeah, so unfortunately North Carolina not quite able to tie it out just yet in that round. A little bit more of a deficit they're going to have to face, but they could still tie it out, could still go up. Well, Monday morning
Attackers need
does
to
have
locate
the
and defuse
advantage
as many
on the
bombs as they
side
can.
swap here. And kind of quite the opposite from our past two maps. I've said that defenders have pretty much won most of the rounds, but on Coastline it's looking more like an attacker-sided map, at least for the first half. We're gonna have to see how North Carolina attacks to really confirm that it's an attacker-sided map. Not North Carolina not Monday morning just popping off. But it shouldn't be too long before we see that. A defense coming out from Monday morning looking very similar to North Carolina's. Opting for that smoke instead of the Goyo though for denial and an alibi. I think they rock a dot mostly on this site just to sort of trick the attack with the holograms for at least a bullet or two. Alibi, not super tricky, but she does waste a bit of time. When you're being pinged by the holograms, you really don't want to push. Plus, she does bring that extra deployable shield. So 2 deployable shields on the side of defense from Smoke and Alibi, and some ADSs and magnet discs to cover them, as well as Koshta with the intel to round it out. But I want to say this is the first time we've actually seen the Yana been stuck. We've seen her shown a lot, but she's usually been 6 picked off of. But Yeti decided to be sticker this round. She does have frag grenades, which is always really good, and she pretty much has unlimited drones. Unlimited in quotes because she is restricted by time, but she has a constant, steady supply of drones, human-shaped drones that could trick the defense. So always a solid operator, solid and well-rounded operator there. Nitro comes out from below, but it's going to be Kyle who finds the head of Glimpse. Kyle on IQ, not sure if that was from Kitchen, taking it into Pink Bar. And the last defender downstairs, Koshta here on Valkyrie, is going to be trying to rotate out towards White Stairs. She knows that, yeah, my defender buddy died. I don't want to push this, but maybe Koshta does. Valkyrie's just going to sit inside of courtyard. Kind of a dangerous spot if any attackers want to peek over the ledge, but not a spot checked very often.
That could prove dividends, as it is not one of the more checked spots here, but we will see the alibis. IQ's being mad for clearing out these things, but Willem lose about half his health and take that back, all of his health. Quickly, oh man, Koshta just putting down teams through the wall. Gets one in the head through the wall. That's a highlight reel clip if I've ever seen one.
I'm gonna need to see the Moss files for that one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Moss files cached.
Pretty sure everyone has to submit Moss files for
yeah, it's
quarterfinals.
playoffs. That's right. Everyone's gonna submit them. Hopefully, no one's running Vulcan.
I'm gonna go through that after this match. Just gonna check, be sure. But no, a beautiful pre-fire. Exactly, beautiful pre-fire though coming out from Koshta, turning that deficit of Slims being fragged out into a positive. He finds 2. And CB just rubs it in even more and finds 1 on Variant.
Yeah, with the subtle flex of the diamond charm as well, showing he knows what he's doing there. With 2-4 now left, and it's looking a little dire as the smoke goes down on. This is ballsy to say the least. Running straight the smoke, just constantly getting pinged out there. Hexter is not getting anything done there, and just all of the prone is getting taken down. I know that was a little bit of a BS at the end there. Regardless, it's gonna be Monday morning taking out their 5th round, checking it out of the library. It's due back, maybe in the next round for another one.
I don't like the scoreline. I feel like this should be so much closer. But looking at the frags here, Monday morning really stepped it up since the first map. Koshta already at double digits at round 7. With CB just close behind him, but Kyle and Variant with the frags on North Carolina as well. I feel like it should be so much closer. But in saying so, Monday morning has been playing very well together, very effectively, always roaming together. Koshta not backing off after Klims died. He instead turned it around, got a 2-piece, and basically changed the tides of that round in one swift wallbang. But regardless, Monday morning is going to be going kitchen now, considering Hookah is locked out. And not bringing 2 shields this time, going to be bringing 1, and will mind bringing Roxalons, oddly enough.
Yeah. Which, I don't know about it. We'll see. I would, the prox alarms are going to work, because you heard them blaring last round, so
I'm a fan of prox alarms. Honestly,
10
I didn't
seconds
think they'd
left.
be that great, but after getting my hands on them, I'm a fan. I like them.
5 seconds to
They're
go.
they're sort of discreet. You don't really know they're there, and it gives a very
Attackers
loud,
are heading out to defuse a
indistinguishable,
bomb.
audible noise saying, "Hey, there's someone literally right here." And then you can swing on them or do whatever. But I mean, just the intel alone from Monday morning, I don't even know if they need the prox alarms. Obviously, Kasha with his black eye felt cams doing work last round. You saw the pings going out last second. And, Kyle on the IQ just not quite being able to do his job. I believe he was the first one picked last round, which is probably why that round went so not great for North Carolina.
And it's just so many different things going on. It looks like UNCC is gonna get something going, and then Monday morning just rolls in, just like Monday, and just makes some regret just ever waking up.
Sounds like Monday morning.
Yeah, it's Monday morning. This puts it down just like Monday morning. But right as I say that, instead of Monday morning putting down UNCC, UNCC puts down Monday morning's Clemps. Clemps getting taken out very early here, with Varian's only losing about just over a quarter of his HP. Very good trade coming through there. And that looked like the drone just stayed to the wall, but in fact, it bounced.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Hanging out on cam. You can see if you can get any little bit of peek see on anyone going around the map. We'll find nothing right now, but that does not mean that Kyle will not go down these hookah stairs, cool vibe stairs real quick. He does see the cam, which is a really nice cam, I will say. Kyle will start coming out of here very soon. A minute 20 left, so plenty of time to go around, get stuff done. But track stairs do go down. They already have the floor. Oh no! Almost gets one with, I believe it's Smoke, just getting a little out there. It was almost gets shot through from luggage, the long angle. But now there's a situation where Hexpers gets one on the sus, puts him down 5v3 now. It's signs of life are being exhibited by this UNCC roster, and it's Kastra. He might be going upstairs to go lay down the law a little bit. But 45 seconds left. The attackers do have to actually get into the site at some point. 40 seconds now, and two people are in luggage. Kastra's looking for something. He might get something if he turns that corner. Track stingers are down, so they'll know he's there. But, oh, man. Oh. And that will cue off the attackers for the fact that someone is walking down here, but apparently they just either don't care, don't notice, or otherwise, as they will just keep going, and the window has been missed by Kastra. He has now the only one upstairs is Sledge. He knows 3 people are downstairs right now. 10 seconds left. Oh, never mind. The window's not been locked. He goes right through it as he takes down Expers. Another one drops. Kyle takes down Cell. CB takes down Variant with the Mozzie Roni. Diffuser is taken through the floor, and he gets it. That is the round for Monday Morning Chapel with an absolute beast moment coming out of Kastra from the second floor. Good lord.
My mouth is aghast right now. Oh my gosh. Kastra, you mad lad. 13-2?
Dude, I say.
The whole time he was on that flank. I mean, Kastra really needs to come up big right now. The attack, North Carolina on the attack is just tearing through Monday morning right now. Kastra, you need to do something. He pushes through, he finds the sledge, and then all he has to do is stop diffuser. The cam's there, the ping goes out, the intel's there, and Kastra stops it. The mad lad, absolutely mad. You gotta love to see those dire second moments. And, they were his own cams too. That's gotta feel so good from Kastra.
Oh, for sure.
And obviously, Yeti's kind of fed up with it. He goes, "Yeah, we're done. We're running the Lion now. We're just gonna try to hard take site."
Your bombs from being
Kind of
defused by
interesting to
attackers.
note. Monday morning has gotten the most initial frags on the first 2 maps.
Attackers have
But it's actually
discovered the
North
location of the
Carolina
bomb.
with the most initial frags on this map. 5-3. But obviously the scoreline is 6-2. So kind of a different story, but Monday morning is still just on top of it. And that pretty much has to do with Kastra just being insane these last couple rounds.
Yeah, I I mean, that statistic you just gave is really just indicative of how these rounds are going. It's all about these late round flanks coming out of Monday morning. Like, it's been Cashta coming off with late game flanks. It's been Klimps coming off with late game flanks. It's just all of these flanks that are coming through, and it's absolutely filthy. Like, Cashta, you heard me as I was calling it. I thought he lost the window to get the flank. Like, everyone already dropped through the hatch, and all that was left was Hexburst upstairs. And I thought, and Hexburst was looking right at the door, it looked like, but he turned away like the worst timing ever and got taken down. And then just through the floor, Cashta gets an absolute godlike spray through the floor, actually somehow managing to not hit the beam and actually stop Diffuser. It was insane. And with that insanity, he's going to give his team the opportunity to close out this game, 1 round remaining, and put his team right into the semifinals of Summer League.
Jesus, we're on match point already. Holy. Yeah, that really, Monday morning should not have won that round, but they pulled it off, and props to them. But now they have to try to take up our site, a site which isn't known for being super strong. Monday morning is forced to take this site. It was between this or bedroom penthouse. And starting off strong, Hexburst with the initial pick onto Cashta. Onto Cashta. Cashta's off the board. That's the main fragger gone, but Cashta has his black eyes out and will be used as Klimps. That's a nice refrag. Onto Hexburst as he tries to drop into courtyard.
Hexburst decided he was going to T-pose on the way down. Make sure that even if he went down early, he's still flexing on the kids as he goes down.
I just looked over I got Twitch pulled up on my other monitor. I just looked over and saw him do it because I missed it the first time. That's beautiful. But Klimps rubbing it in even more as he finds Kyle as well. In North Carolina is not looking too hot right now. They're down a man, but it is bar site. They still could pull this off. Kelsel, CB, and Klimps. CB just losing lots of damage very slowly. Obviously being shot through the wall is sus with the SMG-11 doing a bit of damage on the variant over that very long angle. Obviously not too much as it is the SMG-11 on a very long angle. But variant with 1 air jab down already, probably on their back in bathroom. But evening it out just a little bit, CB being very low, bringing the man count at least a little closer together. But there's not much progress being made from North Carolina here. 40 seconds on the clock, they're going to have to try to do something. Variant here's Klimps coming down the stairs and will tap his head. Variant's going to be trying his best. The line E1D goes out to push in, but also finds one. Sus with another, and it's not on just to Yeti. He's going to be trying to plant, but Mozzie's right behind him in office. Yeti's going to come off the plant and sit CB down, bringing it to a 1v2. Flash goes out. E1D's going to guard as well, and he's going to start the plant. He's going to try to stick it. Muko's lobby, though. He's going to try to shoot him under the wall. Yeti finds the head. It's now a 1v1, but Yeti's very low. The clock's going to be ticking down, and he's going to have to stick the plant, but he should be able to get it down. Also going out to lobby. He's going to pre-fire, letting him know where he is. Yeti 1v1. Calcel at a full HP. Yeti very lit. Is he gonna do it, the Mad Lad? No! Calcel's gonna find the pick on the Yeti. Yeti so very close to that clutch. But Monday morning, get the comeback. Starting off map 1 at a 6-1 deficit. Yeah, they lost the first map, but bringing it back. Winning the second map. Cafe 7-3. What a landslide of a win. And then winning Coastline at 7-2. Monday morning just needed some time to warm up, obviously. But I mean, both teams, just some beautiful takes. Some takes that I've probably been better than pros. But that's just me. Just GG's to both teams.
Yeah, GG's, honestly. Like, that was absolute peak performance coming out of both those teams. Just slugging back and forth. Despite what the scoreline was for the last 2 maps, that was still just incredible gameplay coming out of both those teams. And you really had to sit there and question, like, where it was going to go. Because while that last map was 7-2, there was some moments where you thought it was going to go in the favor of the other side. And unfortunately for North Carolina Charlotte's, it just didn't go their way, and that's just how the dice go sometimes. But congratulations to University of North Carolina on making it this far. They did make it to top 8, so that is kudos to them. But unfortunately for them, the team that is going to be moving on to the next round is going to be Monday morning.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first map was so close. North Carolina pretty much beat Monday morning by a landslide. They let them take a few rounds at the end. Cafe probably should have been closer, just in terms of the fragging going on and the rounds going. But Coastline, just Monday morning, really stepping it up, taking them out. North Carolina doing almost doing 2/3 of the opening picks over Monday morning. Monday morning got the first 3, and then they got the next 6, but they just couldn't turn it into a round win. But yeah, GG's Monday morning going to be moving on to semifinals. But that's it. That's best of 3. That's the end of the story, and what a story it was. Beautiful back and forth. I need to go to bed.
Yeah. It is quite late for us East Coasters right now. It is 12:15 in the morning. But from our wonderful sponsors at Corsair, What's New.gg, and Rogue Energy, it's going to be me, Bonsai, and him, Blue Card, signing off for this Friday night cast. And we will see you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
See ya.